really play well and take the teams they're playing against to their limits. You know, we saw them lose 1-2 against ENCE and push ENCE to their limit as well and smash Imperial and make it look pretty comfortable. That being said, though, Blair, enough chit chat because we're live into the game.
We're live straight into the game, and yeah, MOUZ starting on the CT side, having the choice of which side they want to start on here on Eternal Fire's map pick. Have a molly, smoke, a flash, and a nade for the side of Eternal Fire as they just congregate here towards the lobby position. So waiting patiently. Dexter has a nade in hand. The moment he spots a feet, he's going to just lob it in, but Eternal Fire opt to start to make their way towards Ram, and JD still sticking around. This could be dangerous.
It could. But Torzi is going to deal the fatal damage onto Emor, which keeps the T's in the back foot. Now Frozen goes in. And with that secondary component pushing down to the B site, as you highlighted, it's not as if Eternal Fire have any easy road forward. And they're going to have their eyes in the back of their head as well as they push down ramp. They know there's multiple players last seen in Hell. This is a really awkward start to the round for Eternal Fire. They're going to try and explode out onto the site. And it's a good kill from Moxa onto JDC. That should be a bare minimum of the bomb plant. They're also waiting in the wings on lobby for BMAS to go for that rotational play, but he's missed his chance.
And now it's only on Xfla to stay alive for as long as he can. They know he's isolated for the time being. And with Vence being watched right now, he is by his lonesome. But the bomb is ticking away as Calyx making a lot of noise, making his way towards Ram. There's no way he clears his angle. There's a chance, though. Torzi will be found. And now the 2v2. They're just sticking it, though. It's not planted for him. And Bemus, being the bodyguard, finds Calyx. And Dexter just sticking on with the kit. And MOUZ take the first. That still came down to the wire. But with the bomb plant's position, I guess Calyx panicked a little bit, which is why he played towards Squeaky, towards the door position. But that was unfortunate.
Oh man, I bet Torzi's just giving those two boys a high five if he can, or at least virtually so, because that whiff on the bottom of ramp, oh, that nearly cost them everything.
Did indeed, but still good retake overall here from MOUZ. And yeah, looking where the bomb is planted, Bemus, he had to hit the shot into Calyx, which he does fine. Now Forceby is going to be coming in for Eternal Fire. They did get the bomb down, getting 3 kills as well. And a multitude of Galils, a couple of them, actually. Scout for Woxic and a couple of Mag-10s. We did see Woxic being quite lethal with the Scout. But that being said, he didn't really have a monstrous game, but there were rounds where he had some crazy impact. Look to take this fight. It could be dangerous. He lands the tag, but he will be put down by Dexter.
Excellent start into the round. MOUZ have to try and bypass multiple weapons. They've already dealt the fatal blow into one. And Calyx now creeping up onto the Squeaky side. Dexter watching the cross. Flashes are good. Drop down from BMAS as well. They have a crossfire established, but that run and gun style from Emor does yield the 1 kill, but that's pretty much where this round should come to a close. Most of the Turkish team have been repelled, and comfortably so. And now Emor will be getting his hands on that bomb and maybe trying to just force it down onto the A site. There was an opportunity for him to vent dive, but he probably assumes that one of the CTs would be just sat there watching at this point in the round. So instead, he's just clearing out these angles, trying to get at least 1 more kill before he does go in for the jugular and try and force that plant down. But the positions from MOUZ here are so good. The rotational unit from JDC, he bypassed that beautifully, and they will repel this push, keeping 3 players alive and keeping 3 M4s alongside it.
Yeah, and JDC able to spin around the moment he realizes that Emor has walked on through hut and the bomb is still dropped on that upper bomb side. He means that it's not, you don't really need to be Sherlock to deduce where he's going to be coming in from. So yeah, keeping the rifles in play are MOUZ, and for Eternal Fire, a few upgraded pistols is all they have. Calyx, Xantares, and Emor. And this is the worry here. I forget if it was Kasad or Yanko who mentioned that starting the T side. I think it was Yanko who said, you know, starting a T side against this MOUZ's CT, you can just kind of find yourself kind of a little bit lost. And sure, we could talk about the 13-2 CT side they had against ENCE, but that was without any pressure, right? Because they were starting on the CT side. And imagine a scenario where things spiral out of control and MOUZ get off to a massive, massive lead on his first half, and that's when things start to get very, very uncomfortable for Eternal Fire. And even when they switch over to the CT side, they won't really have the luxury of a couple of rounds of a little bit of a mattress to work with. That is something which definitely is going to be in the back of their minds. Calyx, though, nice shot onto Torzi. as a nade will deal quite a bit of damage on towards Walks with them combined HP of just 20, and BMOUZ will finally put them down. 3-0 start for MOUZ, and it's solid. The past couple of rounds, Vince just losing a couple of players, so all looking good here in the MOUZ camp. Torzy even bringing out the AWP pretty early in the game.
Yeah, and already off to 7 kills. So that's a player that you want to get warmed up as fast as possible. And so far, so good. See if you can put that up to use, though. Against the full AK-47s, filtering out from the spawn. The usual bog standard flash mollies tossed in on the main, but it's not really going to affect MOUZ, who are playing a little bit more deeply in this round. They also have Torzy instantly in secret to peek up on this silo, and at this kind of a range, you expect the AWP to come out ahead, but it could come down to timing, and he is very careful about this. Plus the smokes that were tossed on red container starting to dwindle away. They do have that secondary player, though, in main, watching for the cross to try and safeguard their AWP. A really good setup in play here for MOUZ. This is going to be a difficult one to crack on EF.
Torzy, we've seen how lethal it can be. Star player for this MOUZ side. If he starts getting off to a good start here, Zantaris aware though. He should win this duel, but no, Torzy so quick, aware of the possibility of Zantaris coming in. And with that, Eternal Fire, they have to hit the go button, but they come straight into the waiting arms of Dexter and BMOUZ.
Oh my goodness, Blair.
Oh,
they didn't even get 1 kill, and they had 2 chances, and the duels completely went awry. And you were just talking about how the last couple of rounds have been really comfortable. They've only lost a couple of players. That was the first proper rifle for Eternal Fire. No casualties. AKs picked up. But it couldn't have gone any smoother for MOUZ if they'd asked.
Even for BMOUZ able to upgrade the MP9 into the AK-47. Also, Dexter has to be so lucky that Calyx wasn't able to land the spray with an AK. But MOUZ now 4-0 up. For Eternal Fire, even though it's the pistols this time, they have quite a bit of utility here to wield. I say they used a couple of them already. 2 smokes, a nade, and a Molotov. It's JDC. Ram player just buying his time. You got to remember that BMOUZ is inside of vents as well, in case Eternal Fire opt to use a smoke and drop on down. BMOUZ spots a player. There's no need for him to commit to this fight. There's backup nearby as well that needs to be. Torzy towards the held position. Here he comes as Zantaris plucks JDC.
Torzy missing that shot, but keeping himself alive is very important here. If he falls, that's where things get really, really difficult. BMOUZ free kill. Emo may be anticipating a vent dive in retaliation from MOUZ. But also keep in mind that although a kill has gone in favor of the Turkish team, they still only have the 1 rifle that was picked up from the corpse of JDC. Apart from that, it is pistols, P250, Tech 9, Deagle. And Dexter in hot pursuit, just missing out narrowly on Calyx. No chance to deny the bomb. It was planted the opposite side of the site. X-Floud is still retaining that position, and the smoke that's on Decon is going to fade. There is a CT coming around from that angle. They're looking to close the noose here and spring into action. Frozen and Dexter sweeping aside all the T's. And although it was a bomb plant, which all things considered was probably better than Eternal Fire could have hoped for, it is a very easy retake at the end of the day.
Considering the half investment, the bomb down. Eternal Fire now are flush with cash. What a shot by Zantaris. A bit of a gentle reminder, or maybe not so gentle reminder to JDC and the rest of MOUZ that you can't ever put your foot off the gas pedal against Eternal Fire, especially when you have someone like Zantaris on the other side. And that's something that Imperial kind of found out to their own, detriment yesterday. That they had such a massive lead. I wouldn't even say they made too many mistakes, but there were a couple of rounds, right? Just that one round I spoke about earlier was Zantaris with the AK, hero AK, just running in and popping heads, wrecking everyone. And that was a round which made all the difference at the end of the day. So that is something MOUZ will be looking to avoid. So we have a bit of a tactical timeout getting called here. Things looking pretty comfortable and calm in the MOUZ camp. Dexter just talking to his troops. He's once again back inside of his closet. Although, it does seem very cozy. If I had a big enough closet, I'd probably play inside it. No one would even know I was there.
To feel safe from the world, you know? Like proper nerd cave. I'm totally down for that.
Just deep inside, all the way to Narnia. JDC, Nate is well placed, well positioned. 57 on Woxic. That's gotta hurt.
That's about 70 in total as well, because it also tagged xFloud and slightly Calyx, but more importantly, Torzi finalizing onto Emo. He's down in the dumps again, just off the back of a timeout into a full purchase, and you lose Emo right off the bat.
It's a rough start here for all the individuals for Eternal Fire. I mean, 7 kills in 5 rounds in total. It hasn't been close, Vince. That's the worrying thing. At least if a couple of rounds were close, the money for MOUZ would still be in a bit of a precarious position, as Torzi so quick on the trigger, too quick in fact this time around, so not able to confirm the kill. And that's the play coming towards the ramp. JDC's alone. He will be isolated, but it's good enough to get the kill. And there's no one to trade, no one nearby. As Dexter comes pushing in, he hears a player coming in from behind as well. Xantares will fall as well, and it's all on Woxic. It's gone so very wrong for Eternal Fire.
I mean, that really could be the general summary of this entire map so far. It's gone so wrong for Eternal Fire. Time after time, they've got no standing in this game. And at this stage in round 6, coming to a close, Woxic is going to put an end to Torzi. But he himself will be on the receiving end of a battering from JDC. You normally say, oh, it's early days, you know, insert caveat here. But as you mentioned, it's the nature in which this game has gone, and the fact that the key heavy hitters have been eerily quiet. Xantares is yet to really show what he can do. Woxic hasn't really had any impact just yet. And we're also seeing, as the perspective of Torzi shows, they're pushing out, they're showing no respect. Eternal Fire they're stuck on the back foot, and it seems like they can't get out of the gates. This is their choice of map as well, Blair. This is the map where you think they probably have the best chance.
And there's that worry, right? This is the worry that our analysts had. It's starting at T side, picking Nuke. This MOUZ CD side could come and bite them in the butt. Now, it is still early days. I know you just said that as an excuse, but still early days. 6-0 could easily turn things around. It's not been easy at all for Eternal Fire. It's been sheer domination from MOUZ. SG in hand for the side of Emor. Opt for Woxic. Deep Molotov there, so there's not much Frozen can do. He's just going to have to lie in wait at the bottom of the stairs. And Torzi being aggressive on top of the railings, but not able to spot anyone.
Yeah, for the time being, Eternal Fire can breathe a couple of sighs of relief because they've managed to bypass most of the aggression. Molotov well placed, well timed, keeps them stuck in secret, and a smoke behind it. And Frozen is eating a lot of valuable time for the Turks right now, and they can't bypass this until probably about 30-25 seconds to go, and that's if they still want to hit secret. This is getting very nervy now on Eternal Fire. They're going to feel compelled to make a play. HE up and over, chunking down. Torzi with another opening pick, and it's that man of Emo that's gone down to his hands. The constant nemesis right now of Eternal Fire is Torzi on 11 frags. JDC, spray not quite on point, but they have Frozen here as well. And he doesn't even need to kill everybody. Just one kill could be good enough, but he turns his back, anticipating the flash. Torzi, though, springs back into action. 6 seconds to go. Spray down from Dexter's good for 2, and that leaves Xantares with it all to do on 21 HP. He knows where one of these players are, and it stands to reason the other 2 could very well be in ramp. He has the right idea. Grenade whittles him down to 9, and BMAS finishes off the rest. One of the best rounds that Eternal Fire have had, but it still is 3 players walking out with a 7th round on MOUZ.
And again, just clinical, keeping 3 alive as well. And just the way they were able to isolate Xantares, right? Who was it? It was Torzi towards ramp. He doesn't aggress. He's like, okay, Xantares is probably there towards control. He waits. He takes a warning shot. I think it was a pre-fire. He waits for backup to arrive. Dexter doesn't even go in for the flank. He waits. He bides his time for all of them to work the 1v3 together. Great timing there, but also great synergy and also just a smart play overall, not allowing Xantares to even have a shadow of a chance of pulling off that 1v3. And once again, early find. Speaking of Xantares, this time he will fall early on. JDC out wide will find Calyx looking for more. He spotted a few of them. That time around, he will be punished, but Torzi is good for the trade. He's seen one of them dropped on down.
And Torzi's having no chill. That's the last at least 3 rounds that he's got the opening pick with the AWP. Emor twice, Xantares once. And they've brute forced their way into the B site in the post plant with Woxic and xFloud. We've already seen that MOUZ are very capable of just taking this one down, and even trade will not be good enough for EF. They need clean kills. Woxic against the world. They're coming in from every angle. They've got smokes and flashes, but Woxic stands his ground, delivers his second kill. 68 hit points remain. This is doable. The bomb is ticking away, but Torzi will not miss. 15 kills, and we're moving into round 9. Someone needs to stop this guy.
Dexter's at 16,000. Oh my word. This is we did see Torzi be monstrous on his CT side of Nuke. We saw him earlier when MOUZ played. I forget who it was, but this is going even above and beyond. 15-3. And this is actually a well-played round overall from xFloud and Woxic, right? Woxic trying his best in that 1 versus 4 to bring it down to the 2v2, but the monster that is Torzi will not be denied. Fast play coming up towards the upper bomb side, but Dexter holding his ground. Emor will fall, but they're going to be dropping towards advance. 1, 2, 3.
We're already down. JDC was watching it, as was Torzi, but they've both been dealt with accordingly. Now Frozen comes down, big headshot. Insta snap to the dome of xFloud, but doesn't manage to land twice. That lightning has been in the bottle multiple times, maybe running dry. But you did touch on it yourself, that the money is just so vast across the board from MOUZ that holding onto these 2 M4s just allows them to stretch it out that little bit further. BMAS though is still keeping himself interested down on Secret. Ooh, should have probably went out on that trade. Woxic removes him. It is going to be the first round to Eternal Fire. Better late than never. But it all comes back again to consistency. You've got you 1 round. Can you build on this?
I like that attempt from Dexter. He could have tried to save the AWP of Torzi's, which was dropped, I think, at the entrance of Secret. But he realizes they have so much money right now. What he could go for is just go for the exits. Catch the tease as they try to save towards Secret, but he wasn't expecting, I think it was Emor. No, not Emor. I forgot who it was. I think it was Calyx tucked on in to the corner of Decon. So, Eternal Fire, finally. They douse the flames of MOUZ. But is it going to be enough? That's the question. It was Calyx, actually, in the end there. 8-1. So we'll breathe a bit of sigh of relief. Woxic's got his AWP as well. And now MOUZ. What do they do? Bit of a cat and mouse game towards outside. It's Frozen. I think Xantares has an inkling. Seems to have an idea. I'm not sure if he saw a pixel for barrel as well.
When he's turned his back, I don't think he did. As he's expecting and anticipating a flash, but no one seems privy to this information. And Dexter, in the meanwhile, is putting down the pain inside of A. And Xantares is about to be flanked in, and he's not even to get the flank off because BMAS is there just to watch his back. The call would have come through. xFloud now has to just raw peek out with flashes alongside it. That's the bomb. The bomb down next, and BMAS from strength to strength, from frag to frag. Woxic, last man alive again. Although he's put that bullet into the stomach of Dexter and reaped the kill, he's getting flanked in, and he knows that this round is pretty much sealed up, signed off the way of MOUZ. Second kill is good, 65 HP remains, but now the ramp play is coming in. He has the right ideas, but that smoke is clearing, and he's worried about being peeked from the main side as well. Nade is going to be good for some damage. It won't finish off BMAS. 60 health remains for him. Could get peeked in from the garage as well here, Woxic. Torzi is watching this angle. He's watching the bomb. The other issue as well for Woxic, he ends up dying, but the other problem that's probably in the back of his mind is he's like, hold on a second, there's 10 seconds left here. I might need to die before time as well. If he dies after time, that's even worse for Eternal Fire, if that's possible for them to be in a worse position.
A hard-fought round one, Vince, and then they just crumble again. And this goes to what I think it was Casado who mentioned, how he wishes Eternal Fire they have an actual IGL instead of juggling duties here between Woxic and Emor. And I think he's got a good point there. Maybe, you know, with the proper IGL, they could probably able to adapt, probably able to figure out what they want to do, but they will brute force their way down vents. Two players, there's only just one player, and Xbox making a lot of noise. He's going to get the bomb down. The remaining members of the T's coming in from the ramp position, as they will catch Dexter, and they're hounding down the members here, and it's down to Torji. He knows there's another player on top of ramp. In the meantime, what's xCloud up to?
It's being a smoke criminal, getting down into the shadows, gets spotted, and Torzi flicks down on him. The last time we saw Torzi, it was like he was aiming towards the bottom of the site.
Looking at it.
Yeah, he must have flicked. That must have been a ridiculous flick shot, because it wasn't a no-scope either. We didn't see the icon come up. I think you might get a chance to see that. That must have been crazy. Either way, though, whichever way you spin it, MOUZ do get a 10-1 lead. And Eternal Fire, I said about consistency, just none forthcoming whatsoever.
I genuinely thought he was dead to rights there, Torzi, but he's 18-4. Quick math for Kassad. That is a 4.25 KD. Boom.
That's impressive fragging by anyone's standards.
Listen, when you're 18 kills and have over 4 KDR, that is just insane. This is like shades, and this is very high praise here, but this is like shades of Simple's nuke CD side performance. And I'm not saying Torzi is simple, but it is reminiscent of how Simple could just absolutely shut down the nuke CT side on his opponents, and Torzi's doing a pretty decent cosplay of the great one. That's MOUZ 10-1. Eternal Fire now just look, at this point praying that something goes their way. As Frozen, he's feeling adventurous. Flash is good, but he's going to be taken down. Actually, the flashback from Torzi catching both the T's and Frozen as well. A little bit off on the timing. Let's say Torzi, and is looking to find the trade.
Smoke's going to vacate soon. And there we go. Woxic finally gets some success against his opposite number. HE out. Does no damage. Looked like it could have done quite a bit. They must have bypassed it by just pushing past. And this is pretty much the best chance that Eternal Fire have had. 3v5 in good positions. Blair, it's pretty simple. They have to win this. If they're losing these rounds, I'm not saying it's done, but it's close to being done at this stage already in the game. They've got to win this round. They have to. And they've lost 2 players from JDC.
They don't expect a second player as well, Vince. That is disastrous. With Dexter taking on Emor Calyx, he needs to clear this angle with Bemis. Lies in wait. Timing is everything. They are falling apart. xCloud now left in a 1 versus 2 from what was a 5v3 advantage for Eternal Fire. And he's on 1 on 10. And Bemis hasn't moved yet. And considering how much time has expired, okay, never mind. His position known right now, but Bemis immediately tossing out a flashbang to try and take this duel. xCloud is going to be able to isolate it. 74 HP. He's got 16 seconds. He's going to get the bomb down, but Dexter sneaking in from the vents. The 1v1.
xCloud has that flash, though. He's going to be popping that one in. Dexter turns his back, but still lands the shot. Still lands the kill. Oh, Blair, tag this bag. It feels like it's a done deal, mate. If they're not winning 5v3s like that, when they have that much position on the map under control, you've just been broken soul-wise, mentally again. 11-1. And this is the map that they wrecked ENCE on. That's the part I can't get my head around. They beat ENCE on this map just a few days ago. What happened to Eternal Fire?
Well, they started on the CT side. That's a difference. And they had that 13-2 start that they were looking incredible. They had no pressure, but the T side, we didn't really see too much from the T side. But that being said, Woxic finding a nice opening. But at this point, even if they're finding openings, even when they have the 2-man advantage, they're not able to close it out. They're not able to convert it. They just started like they stall. They just stall, and it just left wondering, okay, what do we do from here? And that's when MOUZ with the re-aggression are actually able to catch them off guard. Like, go back to what JDC and Dexter did from the secret position. Eternal Fire just meandering towards the outside yard. 3 players falling there. A round that was seemingly gifted. They were like, okay, guys, we have this. And then they started just getting too paranoid. Well, they have found JDC this time around. Can they capitalize? A minute on the clock. Xantares trying to come on in, but Dexter's going to reaggress, and this time he will fall. But Torzy's push up towards ramp. And xFloud, the missed shot. Oh, another one. Torzy's still sticking around. This is lunacy, and he will eventually fall. And this should be the round for Eternal Fire.
Oh, bro. I'm getting flashbacks. BMAS didn't take much damage there, and he's dropped the bomb down. There is a rotation coming in. Frozen needs to win this fight, and he does just that. Surely not another one. Surely you can't lose 2 of these in a row. Eternal Fire with 25 seconds left have Emor to thank for giving them a 2-on-1 in their favor. But BMAS is struck again. It's Woxic against BMAS. The bomb is down. He's trying to bait this shot out. He knows Woxic has the AWP, but Woxic holds on. And Eternal Fire, they get the second round, but I'm shocked that we're even getting close here, Blair. These have got to be cleaner rounds.
What was that? Was that a 2v4? 2v5?
I think it was 2v5, but it might have been a 2v4.
Yeah, but still, coming down to the 1 versus 1. No, it was a 2v5. They lose JDC, they lose Dexter pushing here, and Torsey gets caught in a very uncomfortable spot. Yeah, there we go. So it was a 2 versus 5, which comes down to Woxic having to hit that shot onto BMAS. And a missed shot there, and it's gone. And I can't even blame BMAS for going for the play there. If he just remains tucked on in, Woxic's going to come walking around the corner. He's going to have the slight little advantage there, but...
Exactly, yeah.
11-2, Vince.
He was trying to bait the shot out by shoulder peeking, right? And then he can just rinse around the corner and frag him down. So, honestly, that was great. Calm and the heavy duress from Woxic, but now Xantares and the rest of the boys going to try and be pushing out on ramp, but it's JDC again. Takes the player, falls back.
Oh, no way. The timing there. And Dexter's gone on top. They haven't seen him cross. So Woxic, as he comes peering around, bomb's going to be planted. He's in a very rough spot here as Dexter's going to assassinate him. And Emor and xFloud to defend against the entirety of MOUZ.
And combined, they only have 6 kills. It's none of the heavy hitters. It's not the Woxics or the Xantares of the team, but maybe this is their moment to have their stamp on this game. Or perhaps not. There is also a team kill from BMAS, just shutting down Frozen. Brings him back down to earth.
It's easy to be just blown away with Torsey's performance, but everyone on the side of MOUZ is just having a merry old time. Like Dexter's at what, like 15 kills? We have even JDC is looking pretty solid over here. BMAS sitting pretty on 14-5, 15-7 for Dexter, Frozen, and JDC. It's not like they're not doing anything. It's like they don't have to do much. They really don't have to do much. Now, Eternal Fire, they need more here as Seymour comes charging around the corner, hoping that no one's watching Silo that early on, and he will be punished. Stopped in his tracks as JDC is going to aggress towards the radio room, and this is again Eternal Fire getting stifled. They have no presence towards outside, now no control towards ramp, and the lobby is where everyone just congregated, and MOUZ are aware of this.
Emor, remember early in the tournament when he went nuclear on Dust 2 with 39 frags? That was a long time ago now in this game. Can be a cruel one at that. JDC damage inflicted to xFloud, but additionally did get the kill beforehand, so they maintained the player advantage. Just shy of a minute on the clock. Dropping downstairs now are Eternal Fire. But another quick rotation is there to greet them. This time it's BMAS and the double doors. Moving into the control room. Xantares jumping through. He heard the window get shattered, but Xantares still pulverizes BMAS, and maybe there's a way back in yet. Dexter, though, has had a really good game. Shows his hand, pushes through, closes the door, and allows the rest of his team to come through and takes Woxic with the last bullet in the magazine. The audacity to go for that re-peek. But Xantares is snaking his way in. He could have a double frag here. He could actually have this round in the palm of his hands, but he's now been spotted. First kill goes down. The bomb's not planted for him either. He has to come out into the open. Surely he's a goner, and Frozen puts him down with authority. MOUZ have wrecked Eternal Fire on this first half.
What Eternal Fire did to ENCE at the beginning of the tournament, MOUZ have done the same. 13-2. This is just outrageous from Dexter. Just the last bullet as well into Woxic. So much damage being dealt through the wallbang, and MOUZ is, oh, yay. Yeah, that face says it all. That is a bit of a headache of a T side here from Eternal Fire. And again, this is their map pick. This was their map pick. They were hoping to recreate what they did against ENCE. And MOUZ are like, well, no, it's not going to happen. And map 2, I do believe, is Mirage, the pick coming in from MOUZ. Still a map that Eternal Fire are pretty comfortable playing on, so you can never still completely count them out. But you said it earlier, Vince, this one just seems done.
It feels that way. Do they expend a lot of energy to try and come back into this one? Frozen. Well, good night, Xfloud. Thanks for playing. Oh, it's just, it seems as well that MOUZ, like all the players that we talk about, having all of this individual skill and, you know, consistency is a bit of an issue with MOUZ. They're in one of those kind of teams. But it feels like everybody on their squad right now just simply can't miss their shots. And Eternal Fire just they're getting out-jeweled, man. It's crazy.
This is one of the most ridiculous rounds I've seen. And in what has been a very dominant map from MOUZ. Like, they were everywhere. There's a player outside, there were players towards ramp, and every time Eternal Fire looking to take a duel, majority of the times it's like 2 or 3 T's waiting for them. They had just all the freedom in the world to take these duels. Eternal Fire that down to Xantares. Nice peek. But they all just try and take him down. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, as everyone's going to be peering him together here. But Xantares still able to find a headshot. Still duking it out. Another kill for him. Nice sequences of kills, but right now it's not about the exits, Vince. It's about winning a few rounds. Unless something changes real quickly, it is over for Eternal Fire. There is no underpass on this map, but you can use underpass on Roobet.com and claim your free balance. Boom.
There is an underpass coming up soon, though. Assuming that MOUZ can finish this one off quick on Mirage, of course.
True.
So, definitely get involved. MOUZ 14-2. Hot off the back of being victorious in the second pistol. Looking to just put the last couple of checks in place. And move across to that next map. And we've seen a very different look to Eternal Fire as well in this very tournament when it comes to Nuke. Not just this performance, but keep in mind they beat ENCE. You already mentioned that on the CT side they were just unbelievably strong and then, you know, just closed it out. But we also saw them lose this map 16-7 against Imperial yesterday. So it is a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of approach here, and we're definitely seeing the grim side of their Nuke. But Xantares may be giving them a lifeline at least for round 17. He'll be able to trade up if he wants to. What do you prefer, the Galil or the FAMAS? I feel like most people would probably say Galil.
The Galil, 100%. Yeah, that's fair. You would actually not have to know how this game works to pick the Galil. But that being said, I do miss the old FAMAS, the 1.6 FAMAS. What no one's missing is JDC. It's Woxic though. Just good for one. But for a moment, I wanted to believe, Vince. For a moment, I'm like, yeah, maybe he can do something. The nade could actually deny the plant. Dexter can fall, and indeed he will. Bomb not even getting planted, but Bemis to finally take him down. Nice try from Xfloud, but 15-2, the scoreline, 13 map points with Dexter and his Musketeers.
This would be the most one-sided map that we've casted this entire tournament. We've actually had a lot of close ones. We've not had a 16-2 just yet, assuming that they do put the final nail in here.
It's just been... it's grim. Like, even as commentators, right? Like, we obviously all of us want to have the opportunity to commentate a close game, a fun game. But this is so very dominant There are certain games where it might be like a 13-4, sorry, a 16-4, 16-5 scoreline, but you go back to the game and you're like, no, actually, a lot of these rounds were super close, right? It was a lot of very crucial swing rounds going the way of the winning team that enabled them to close this one out, breaking the money and whatnot. But no, this has been a bloodbath. It's been a slaughter. It's a bit of a slow lobby crunch coming in, but somehow Bemis just might be able to bypass this.
He does bypass it, but Emo up to the task with his Deagle. 4-on-4 retake. At least that's an extra rifle that can be picked up now. Spray is rough from JDC. A lot of damage, but no kills. He's actually tagged up 2 players very low. And now Torsi can try and finish off the rest. He gets traded out. Maybe Eternal Fire can get their hands back onto this site, but they'd have to go past Frozen and Dexter. Dexter on 21 frags right now. Sprays in, and that's another rough spray. That's 3 times this round. We've seen MOUZ have the chance and let it slip. 2 of these players exceptionally low. Dexter's waiting, assumes there's no kit in play. Oh, the double spray. He could have just done it. There's no kit. Dexter with a spray from Decon secures the map. And they take it 16-2. And every bit is one-sided.
Just finish this one off, right? Just qualify for the playoffs. Make it quick and easy. It is your map pick. And hopefully they should have something in store for us here. They look really good at Nuke, mind you. So, and that wasn't even their map pick. So I'm hoping that Dexter is able to flex something here for his side, not just individually, but as the IGL. As the mid pop comes on in, it's Antares, the man who delivered yesterday for his team against Imperial, is going to open things up. He finds JDC.
Yeah, and he was probably the only consistent light on that Nuke performance. A lot of them were exit frags and round was already done and dusted, but he was connecting a lot of headshots. His aim looked crisp, it looked fresh. And really, Eternal Fire should be fresh coming into this second map. You know, we saw them go through a marathon yesterday. That was a sprint. And it was MOUZ in the lead the entire time. That being said, though, although they trail by a player, all 4 strong will be coming through into the A site, and momentarily they will outnumber Eternal Fire. It's a 4v2, but Antares with his second headshot, retaining all of his health in the process, still alive, still baiting out shots, now taking a little bit of damage. Flash is good, but he still destroys Frozen on the cross and is going back in for more. It'll be a complete shutdown. That's exactly what Eternal Fire wanted coming into Mirage.
That was sick from Xantares. The first shot towards mid, fair enough. He takes down JDC towards mid. The USP obviously having the range. And then a second kill as well. The timing on that peak towards ramp. And then the flashbang. It was so good. He should be dead to rights. And yet, just the first bullet, Frozen falls. And then Torsi does nothing he could do in the 1v5. The defenders were all around him. And MOUZ, they get absolutely nothing done. That round, flawless round for Eternal Fire, and that is the sort of start they need if they just bring this one back. The buy for the side of MOUZ, it's going to be a multitude of Eagles. Not much utility. They have 1 smoke in the hands of Frozen. That's about it. As Calyx, he is taking a bit of damage, but he will somehow find himself a semblance of safety for the time being.
MOUZ already making moves up close. Sandwich gets flashed in. 1-for-2 trade, but now Antares once again is being the nemesis of MOUZ. Bomb has been dropped down. Very poor position at that. Deagle in play on the side of Frozen. He's already down to 16 HP. Torsi not faring too much better off either. He's also in the ramp side. This is a kind of angle though where the Deagle maybe can connect, but Emor and Antares have repelled that, denied it. Eternal Fire off to their second round in a row.
Strong start coming out from Eternal Fire. Just 1 kill from MOUZ in the first couple here, and with the fact that it's just going to be Glocks and a few P250s, 5 P250s, something we don't really get to see too often. It should still be a comfortable round here for the side of Eternal Fire. You guys can use the code MOLLYGO, Roobet.com, to claim your free balance in the meantime, because this one should be a comfortable affair, should be a bit of a shooting gallery, as Antares looking to pad his stats a little bit, helped a little bit out by his teammates as well. And 8-0 for Mr. Xantares. Sure, most of those kills were against the pistols. Actually, all the kills were against the pistols, if you count a pistol round as well, but that's the sort of start you want your talisman to have.
Oh, pistols or not, his aim has been a laser beam. He's opening few rounds and putting that Nuke performance to the back recesses of their mind are Eternal Fire as well. This is kind of what I meant, that like losing the map quick maybe just allows them to focus on this map that much quicker and kind of reset themselves. And starting this way, best possible capability of pulling that one off. There is a gap in the smoke, however, that Torsi is looking to try and exploit. A lot of bullets coming the way from Connector. Nade and Flash traded out. Not too much damage done towards the top, but now nearly connecting. I'm surprised that didn't do a single point of damage. You can see the bullet holes on the wall right next to Torsi, but he managed to dodge all of them.
Bemis and Dexter grouping up together. The moment that smoke fades away, they're gonna find something in Xantares. Such a hard position as Calyx, though. He's gonna strike onto Dexter. No trade possible now. I don't know if they spotted the second player as well. That could actually draw the rotation. Now, bomb yet to be picked up. Now, there's a lot of time still to work with here, but eventually someone's got to go pick that one back up as Emor catches JDC as well. And now MOUZ, they're so separate from each other. You can see Beam is stuck towards ramp position, already down to 47 points of health. What it could try to do here is maybe be a bit of a distraction while his remaining teammates slowly creep their way towards the B bomb site.
They're creeping their way up right now, and there's no way for them to spot this one out. The flashes have come and gone. Tossed in from BMAS, a very smart play there. It stopped Woxic with his AWP from peeking to Toll Booth from that angle and sussing out what was happening. Now BMAS goes in for one. Torsi gets flashed out though, and that affords safe passage to the site. I think they're going to back off and save. There's 10 seconds to play with. They can't do anything. And a bit of a worrying, concerning, alarming sound here on MOUZ. Very reminiscent to how Nuke started off as well. They've barely got any kills in these opening 4 rounds. They've been completely shut down. Some of the heavy fraggers from the first one, Dexter, JDC, they're on 0 alongside Frozen. 3 kills collectively in 4 rounds. That is so rough.
What a start for Eternal Fire, though. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. So despite getting absolutely brutalized on their map pick, if you're, I know it's still just 4 rounds in, or rather 5 rounds in at this point, but if you have this solid at start, not only is it going to be great for your mentality, but also, you can pretty much almost forget what transpired on Nuke, but also the money is pretty solid here. Op out early on for Woxic. They did suffer a couple of casualties there, but considering it was the buy from MOUZ, is still going to be pretty happy with this one. As for MOUZ, we have the AK and the AWP safe in the hands of Bemis and Torsi. The rest of the teammates are going to be buying some pistols and armor around them. A bit of utility purchase as well, so Eternal Fire still need to be aware of this. And a boost comes in, but Woxic with the perfect read and even finds Dexter a little too late on the repeak.
Just 2 players remain now. The Xantares goes in for that wide swing. 9-0. The Immortal continues to press forward. JDC retrieves the AWP. In terms of saving this AWP, there's still 1 minute and 20 on the clock, and you better believe they're going to be pushing his position. They have the economy to support that. Flashbangs in, just peeking from the middle box. That smoke is going to clear eventually, and that's where JDC may be forced out into the open. Additionally, he's not sure if he's getting flanked in from the back. We can see from our benefit of the minimap, that's not the case just yet, but Xantares, he's wanting to get involved, and that's going to be his first death, gifted to him by JDC's AWP. This is where JDC can have impact now. Although the money's decent for Eternal Fire, we know just how shaky the CT sides can be. They'll bring a couple players down significantly, and with another buy potentially coming up with max round loss bonus, especially if you can hold on to this AWP, things get a little bit interesting at that stage. But Woxic is watching the cross from Connector. So if JDC peeks out too much, he should be a dead man. This round's obviously done though, Blair. I mean, we're kind of going over the small print. It is going to be 5-0, and it is a fantastic start for the Turkish squad.
This might be one of the longest saves we've seen as well. JDC, he's been by his lonesome for over a minute, but yeah, as you said, Eternal Fire, there's no need to really aggress here. So JDC will save the AWP, but he's not going to get the loss bonus money, right? And it will still be rough money-wise because Bemis and Torsi with a 2-player to save the previous round. You can take a look there. Bemis, Dexter, Frozen can buy. Torsi will have... He can buy Kevlar, drop an AK for JDC, and JDC can drop the AWP to his teammate. In fact, I think that was a Galil being purchased there. Fair enough. He's like, nah, JDC, don't get an AK. I need my head armor. Which is fair enough. You're going up against the A1s, right? So, still overall a solid buy coming out from MOUZ. But Eternal Fire are firmly on fire.
That they most certainly are. It's down to MOUZ if they want to douse those flames. Try not to feed into it too much more. It's already got plenty of oxygen to keep this fire bright for another few rounds with that economy that's in place. Woxic nearly still nails the shot while flash, but BMAS does make the most of that. Calyx sent packing, and now MOUZ press forward. There's a rotational play over on B as well in the meanwhile, mind you, so that could also be a problem further down the line, but in the here and now, Eternal Fire unable to really stall his push, losing 2 bodies this early on. Emor does spot the player up, but he misses out on his spray, and Dexter will punish him with a smoke onto jungle, and this is where that rotational play could come to the forefront. Frozen's making moves through Catwalk, though. Not through on the BCT side. So he's going to miss his chance, I think. He's 0 and 5. He'd love to get in the thick of some action here and take down these weapons. But he may very well get AWP down if he peeks on the Catwalk. He's done damage. He may overextend his welcome, though. If Frozen goes in for that peek, Woxic will probably nail him, and he decides better off that decision. So, the flames have been doused for the time being. But with this kind of an economic situation and how well Eternal Fire have been playing... Oh, nice shot from Woxic. They can always be spurred back on again. So MOUZ have got to be careful.
Yeah, there's no need for MOUZ to really go for this hunt. What do you really gain out of taking away these guns from Eternal Fire? There's so much money accrued on the Turkish side that they can easily purchase whatever weapon they desire, even if these 2 rifles fall. So it's fine for JDC. He does lose the Galil, but that's about it. Nice opening from Bemis. And this is so unfortunate for Xantares, right? The flash didn't really blind him, but he turned away from it, enabling the kill to come on through. But MOUZ finally, the final round. Eternal Fire still just the fashion in which they won those first 5 rounds. Still going to be feeling pretty comfortable. But MOUZ have shown that they can find some chinks in the armor here. Still only 1 round. Still a lot more to find before they can tie things up. A little bit of a pop play here. Calyx is by his lonesome, and it's going to be spotted by Bemis. Bemis, oh, never mind. Calyx able to find 2, catching JDC on the ladder as well. And he burns alive at 16 HP, but he will still be breathing.
Fantastic hold. Plus the smoke down in shadow. It stops MOUZ from pushing back in. They have enough time, though, if they want to re-rotate over on B and try and maybe divide some of these CTs. It is possible, but they're also very cognizant of the fact that there could be a CT pushing around the back of them. Eternal Fire are an aggressive team. It's not something that Xantares will shy away from time to time, and they're actually going to go for that push now. It's a bit delayed. And the concerning aspect of this is by pushing these 2 players up mid, they're effectively leaving Calyx on 16 HP to watch A by himself. And if that window of opportunity is taken and grasped on with both hands, MOUZ could bypass this rotation entirely.
Oh, Calyx, that is dangerous, and you said it, Vince. And you heard again pouncing. Oh, there's no one there. There is a flank taking place here in the form of Emor, but once the bomb gets planted, they're going to be aware of the possibility of this flank. Frozen's going to get the bomb down, and now it's a 3v3. Emor should at least find 1 here.
There it is. He's got his kill. He's going to get swept in. Push from Dexter, who doesn't finish him off. 23 HP. Smoke now plumes. There's a gap in that smoke, though, and Xantares going to make the most out of it. Torsi goes down. They trade positions, and Xantares again. So MOUZ, identical to how it started on Nuke with the roles reversed. They get their round, they instantly get knocked back down to size.
And Xantares on 11 and 2. This is great from Calyx. The fact that he actually stays alive after that. And yeah, the flank, Vince. I was a little worried that Emor might be a couple of seconds too late. There could be a player watching him. Xantares finding Torsi through the smoke and aware of where Dexter was. Nice attempt from Dexter to get the trade onto Emor, but he needed to find that kill. 6 and 1 here. And just want to point out the life of the B bomb side player events. They're 6 and 1 up, and Xcloud is 0 and 1. It's just rough, isn't it?
It's been a very rough start. There's no doubting that at all for Xcloud, but I mean, Reminds me of that gif with Woody Harrelson. I think it's from Zombieland, where he's just crying into his dollar bills. You know, it's like, oh, I'm having a bad game. Oh, wait, we're winning 6-1. No problems. I'll just wipe away those tears.
Yeah, all he has to do is just like stay alive towards B, just beat the warning system. And look at how deep Emor is. This is a lot of impact which was found by Eternal Fire yesterday, was some of these plays from Emor. A lot of noise being made. You might hear this. Yeah, he's heard it, and now he's going to come creeping on in from behind. Immediately behind Bemis and Torzi as they slowly creep their way towards B. There's xCloud waiting. He's going to just lie in wait. And with the flank coming on MOUZ, they need to make a move here. The longer they delay, the closer death approaches from behind.
Hey, xCloud's got his kill. Nicely done.
1 KD.
Exactly, he's nailed it. And rest in peace, BMAS. You nailed it. You said death was coming. It has arrived. 7-1 the score now. And MOUZ with max round loss can squeak another buyout. But we're reaching that point where being able to afford buys doesn't really matter, because you look at their collective kills. Let's have a quick maths here. They got 10 kills amongst the 5 of them. To put that in perspective, Centaurus has 11. Emor has 8. So, yeah, that's how grim this game has been so far.
Centaurus has more kills than the entirety of MOUZ. That's what I call a yikers right there, but not if you're an Eternal Fire fan. They have successfully... that might have been the fastest therapy session ever, Vince, after the first map, because they've bounced back like the first map never really took place. Emor, though, a bit of a messy spray, able to finally get the kill, but JDC and Dexter strike in tandem. And for the very first time, it's seemingly in a very long time, MOUZ might just have an advantage here.
Do in terms of manpower, but they still need to get that bomb down. That's where the general trajectory and the pressure point of this round changes drastically. Zantares with a double spray with Calyx, though. Down to a 2-on-2. The health bar of Calyx exceptionally low. They can go in for that plant. They know both players are currently in the market area. No damage inflicted. And Dexter with a double spray on the wide swing. So MOUZ get their second round. But I go back to what I said last time. Can they get the consistency to match it?
I love the peek from Dexter as well. The moment... This is a great flash, by the way. Emor labored spray and eventually getting caught by Dexter. But the moment Torzi like deals so much damage, that's when Dexter's like, all right, he's hopping back and he's going, I'm going to catch him off guard. There we go. Perfectly timed peek. A bit fortunate to get both of them, but there was 1 kill guaranteed at the very least. Now, with Eternal Fire, that massive bang they had, it's slowly dwindling away, but Woxic finding the first kill as Emor, the second AWP, will also sing at the same time. Dexter and Bemis to fall, and your paranoia, Vince, where you said the final round, will they immediately fall? I mean, will Eternal Fire immediately snatch it back again? Very much possible here. At least Torzi's able to catch Zantares, but still 4 more to find.
Time is on their side for the time being, though. So I can maybe try and play the mind games, a bit of a reverse psychology misdirection, perhaps. Coming up, window will be a very important trade, and it goes against MOUZ. It's kind of the centerpiece of the map. So JDC getting that kill, it stops rotations from one side to the other. It would have allowed MOUZ the luxury of being a little bit more aggressive. But as it stands now, unless the timing works completely against Emor over on the B side, which it seems like it may have done just that, Molotov should give this position away. Flash in the eyes of Emor, fully blinded, but he has xCloud here now to help him out. And even if Torzi can land one of these shots, it doesn't really make any difference to where this round is going, and that was a big if. So twice in a row, MOUZ get rounds, and they instantly get pushed back.
And the kill coming from xCloud, I felt like Torzi probably thought, wait, that's a B bomb side player. He's inside a market. There's probably no one else on the bomb side. So he starts looking behind him for the flank, which has already taken place a couple of times. And Emor perfectly timed peek. That double op setup won't be maintained though. Just One off for Woxic this time around. Look at the aggression from Emor. He is looking to take the fight to MOUZ, but there was no one nearby to trade with him immediately. There was Woxic, bottom of inside a window. Not really finding the angle to go for the trade. So you can look at Dex's position towards short. He has a lot of real estate gathered for his men, but there is the bomb, and if Peak's going to be coming in, the flash is perfect, and JDC will be found. Now, fortunately for the T's, Calyx won't push down any further, so the bomb hasn't been spotted, but still, MOUZ to get the opening, but Eternal Fire to bring it back.
Man, that was a rapid flick from Calyx. No real chance for JDC as he's killed for a 10th time on this map. Now that bomb has been retrieved, headed over to the B site. xFloud, though, is the snake in the grass, the coiled viper, ready to strike at any given moment. He's not been called upon too many times. He may have gone a little bit cold with that aim, but he preemptively turns his back, and one kill should be good enough. Especially considering that Woxic is here laid in wait, but he's still looking at catwalk, and he's allowing the players to filter in, lulled into a false sense of security. Woxic may miss the second shot, but he's done enough to allow the rest of his team to show up now. Flash is good. It does delay the T's a little bit longer, but Frozen still gets his man all the same. 18 seconds left. Frozen goes in and doubles his kill tally in this round, and now Calyx can't deny the bomb plant, has to walk out into hostile territory. It was once theirs, but now it belongs to MOUZ. Now it belongs to Frozen as he picks up a 3K and a third round for his team.
Driving an icicle straight into the heart of Eternal Fire. That looked like it was done, but then great recovery in what was such a tense situation there on the B bomb site. And Trorzy, he really couldn't get much done. A bit of a mistake here from Bemis. I don't know what the calls were. Maybe they thought there was no possibility of Woxic being nearby. So he goes to the bomb plant with no one in his vicinity. And I felt like the moment Woxic gets a kill, the round's done. But then Frozen coming in clutch for his side. 3 kills for him in that 2v, I think it was 2v3, if I'm not mistaken. So MOUZ, sure, Eternal Fire were off to a very hot start indeed, but MOUZ, it might be, you know, just one round here, one round there, not able to string anything together. But if they can somehow get to maybe 5 rounds in this fashion, Vince, they're still going to be okay with it.
Absolutely, man. Like, if they can fall back on 5 or 6 rounds, as you said, I think they'll be very content with that, considering just how rough the start of this was. And they're on the brink, they're on the precipice. Hell, there's even a chance for them to get 7. And that's what they'll be aiming their sights on. Woxic darting past, dancing in the flames, out in the open. But because of the borrowed time that he was given from that smoke starting to fade away, and underpass being an issue, he has to pull back. Meanwhile, xFloud takes initiative, gets aggressive, gets the reward for that aggression with 2 kills. But now MOUZ in trouble against a weakened purchase, a weakened economy, but Eternal Fire refused to go down.
What a brilliant hold from xFloud. He was in such an uncomfortable position, and most players at that spot would have maybe stayed in the smoke or fallen back behind the bomb site towards a market position. Instead, he just runs on in, catches JDC with his looking the wrong way, and then continues to pepper away at his opposition. And by the way, backup had already arrived as well. Xantares was there to set up the crossfire for him. And xFloud, knowing he just had the MP9, screw it, it's just going to make things very, very miserable for MOUZ, and he does so. Even getting away with the secondary AWP for Eternal Fire. This time it's going to be Calyx wielding it. And for MOUZ, yeah, they win one again. They have to work with the pistol. The flashbang from Xantares, it is beautiful. Didn't need any setup from any of his teammates. Early on, Frozen and JDC taken care of.
Oh, Xantares just not going to miss these chances, is he? 17 kills. Ugh, we saw Torzi pull off very similar stats. I think he was on 18 and 4 at one stage, around the same time on Nuke. And Xantares just having a look across to the enemy and saying, whatever you can do, I can do better. Okay. All right, Xantares. Fair enough. I mean, why not? Why not give it a try? Finishes the man off anyway. 10-3 the score.
It's 18 and 5. What a game. What a map from Xantares. Like, listen, Torzi, if you can do it, I'm going to do the same to you. It was, I think Torzi was at 1.18 and 4. Xantares the same thing, only having died one extra time. The guy is come possessed. That is what Eternal Fire needed. Oh, the flash is good. The flash is so good, but Woxic with the collateral and the third. Okay, Woxic.
Dude's out here smurfing with Xantares. 12 kills for Woxic, 18 for Xantares. And BMAS and JDC with 7 combined. As they try to move in. I say they, it's more JDC by himself. He's going to get caught. He's going to get fragged. And the bomb that was headed in the hands of BMAS has suddenly had a diversion. As now he's going to be headed up on middle side. And it's looking good for the 11-3.
Sorry, I think it was XFloud was, what was he? 0-1 after 5 rounds? Yeah, and now he's right. Now he's 8-3. There's been a bit of action coming his way, and he has delivered. And BMAS, Xantares is so quick. 19 kills, Vince, in 14 rounds. He could get a 20. It's very likely he's going to get a 20 here before we see the second half. Okay, I need to see this. They'll line up.
Oh,
what?
What's that third kill? I think is the most impressive one.
Okay.
Through the box.
What do you do?
I guess you just don't go mid against Woxic when he's in this kind of form. I've got to say, man, like I wish I was a fly on the wall in this Eternal Fire camp after that first map, man, because I don't know what was said or maybe what wasn't said, but this is an entirely different team that's shown up in this second map. Like, you've got to give them so much credit for being able to mentally reset that fast. This round, though, could see its way going into MOUZ, and if it does, 4 rounds could be enough. They're breathing down the necks of Eternal Fire, and here, Dexter, with his second 1D of the round, claims himself an M4, and catwalk control is apparent now for MOUZ, but XFloud through the smoke deals with JDC, and in doing so, he's getting aggressive. He wants to find the information.
He's getting a lot of space here. Now all he has to do is just stay put. The problem is, if MOUZ are able to clear out the B bomb site, they can still just isolate XFloud and go for the plan. You can see on the minimap, Dexter's already walked his way in, and he's like, all right, XFloud was towards B apartments. He's going to clear out market. There's no way. Oh, Woxic. There's no way he expects this. There's no way he expects that. And now, Calyx, what does he do? XFloud as well. He made his way all the way towards T-spawn, and now he's pivoting back, but the hit's going to be coming in towards A, and now Calyx has to deliver with the AWP.
Volley on him. Great shot onto Frozen, though. Overkill. Just splatters his head across the wall. But he's been mollied and flashed out of position, so it's a one-and-done position for him for the time being. He can get back into the action later on, but he will be a solo act. The duet has come to an end, and it's Dexter that puts an end to the life of his teammate. His last spotted on CT boxes. They probably expect he's going to repeat this one. He finds there to Torsi, and the next kill was very close to connecting there, and that would have made it a little bit of an awkward incursion in that one-on-one. However, MOUZ, do you pick up a 4th round? And, you know, considering just how terrible the start of this half was, I think they're going to be relatively happy with 4. It gives them a bit of a foundations, but again, the cliche goes, the pistol's important. It's very much the case here.
Absolutely, and again, this round came down to nothing to elaborate. It was just Daddy Dexter putting on his big boy pants. He's like, all right, boys, I'm just going to do this on my own. Just a 4K from him. Nice attempt from Calyx in the end there, but MOUZ, they were able to squeak a 4th round. And as you said, Vince, it is something to work with, and as the cliche goes, pistol round is imperative here. They're the ones to mount this comeback. Now heading to the CT side, let's see what MOUZ have in store for us here. It was just suffocating. It felt for MOUZ at so many points in this map. Like, Xantares just getting kills at will, just playing aimbots. And then Woxic started to come alive as well with the AWP. 12-5 for the Turkish sniper against his old team. There we go, though. Pistol round in play. Emo. Making a lot of noise. Actually catches Dexter. How does he find Dexter? Frozen, at least good for the trade, but hit is coming in towards B, and there is not a single member of MOUZ.
Oh, they have bit on this bait hard. Emor the fisherman catching all of the fish there. And in doing so, getting those nibbles, it's going to take a long time before MOUZ get even close to retaking this site. And they don't have much in terms of utility front. They've got a smoke and a kit, but that's it. Frozen, though, puts the bullet into the head of Antares. That's a big piece that's been removed alongside Calyx. This is actually doable. It's nothing but headshots now, and it falls upon Xflower, but he's going to fall on his sword. And MOUZ, just with a straight-up direct retake, all the headshots all day long, and they take the second pistol and make it theirs.
Sheesh, Frozen. 4 kills, not a single point of damage taken. This flank, and these are some clean shots coming out from the man. Despite the fact that it looked like, you know, the bait from Emor had worked wonderfully, MOUZ are able to pull off a clinical retake. And this is something we saw from them again and again. We saw them in Nuke as well, Vince. Numbers a few times when Eternal Fire were able to get the bomb down. MOUZ were like a scalpel slicing through the post plants. Still, Eternal Fire have a lead, and good night, sweet prince. Woxic. Instant brain surgery with the scout, and Torzi's out of the server, but Bemis tucked on in this position. M4 in hand, he needs to find the first. Yes, he will indeed. Second, is he going to find it? No. Calyx comes running across and finds 2. That's the A bomb site compromised, and this Frozen has something to say about this.
So he gave out a few words. Maybe of encouragement to his teammate of JDC. He's had a bit of a rough game so far. While Woxic and Zentares, alongside Calyx, are still alive, there is a very good chance that this will go the way of the Turks. Already tagged up is Woxic, but he still comes out swinging with the scout. And that probably puts an end to this round as far as Frozen's concerned. Woxic on 1 HP, that grenade's going to be a touchdown. And Frozen already turns his attention towards the site. He doesn't have a kit, though. And even if he did, he'd probably not have enough time, especially considering that Calyx can just watch down from the ramp. So it's a bitter pill to swallow. MOUZ do concede. It hurts, but they did at least take 4 players with them, so they know the money for Eternal Fire is not the greatest as well. And they will probably have to force, because you've got 2 players around that $1,400 threshold.
This is such a rough position for Bemis. I'm not usually a big fan of the A1 holding that, especially against half buys, but Woxic, man, the amount of damage he's able to, the amount of impact he's able to find with that scout is just ludicrous. But force buy will indeed take place. MOUZ trying to force your way around the saved A1 hands of Frozen, and Frozen just deletes Xbox. There's a player close by though, and it's going to be Emor. He should get the second kill as well, and that's going to be JDC to drop. They weren't expecting Emor to be in such a forward position, right behind the smoke, and that should be the call for the bomb to be planted. And there's nothing MOUZ can do about this. They have no kits. They have a smoke and a flash and this FAMAS in play, but that's about it. And Emor just saves his team.
MOUZ really with their backs against the wall right now. This turnaround from Eternal Fire has been nothing short of phenomenal. But at least MOUZ do keep 3 players in the round with Kevlar, some upgraded pistols. They can go again into the next one. Problem is they're just running out of time. Simply put, they're running out of lifelines. Eternal Fire want to take us to that all-important 3rd map, which would be Inferno. Inferno Deciders always deliver. A place in the playoffs up for grabs between these 2 teams, and as you said, it was really Emor that came back with authority with this MAC-10, sprays down on the balcony, and the rest falls into position. MOUZ running out of chances.
Running out of chances, running out of rounds, running out of time. And with this being pretty much a full eco for 3 of the members, unless this FAMAS and Deagle does something miraculous, I don't really fancy the chances. They have gone for a bit of a stack here, though, and Dexter is approaching the bomb site with his FAMAS, and Emor doesn't check. And Cozy's gonna get the kill, the second one as well. And Torzy with the 5-7 kiss of death on towards that hit from Eternal Fire. As Xantares at least able to reply back, but it's all on Woxic. Bomb out in the open, and 4 MOUZ members lying in wait.
Oh, they want to take him down quickly. He does take through 24 HP to his name. And he's got time. He's going to go down, but that is still significant. Because he's effectively denied more AKs being picked up and traded into the hands of MOUZ. They have to replenish more people. They have to buy in for more weapons. They can do this comfortably. That's a really good effort from Woxic.
Nice try indeed, but what was that from Torzy? Oh, the 5-7 and the smoke working in his favor. Honestly, I just said it. I literally said it before the round was done that this should be, round number 14 for Eternal Fire, and MOUZ, they would have just 2 more rounds, 2 more opportunities. No, not 2 more opportunities, but Eternal Fire would just have to get 2 more rounds, so MOUZ's opportunities would be very slim. But getting that round, they could give themselves a little bit more of a breathing space. Not much, but a tiny bit. But again, that's not sustainable. Like Torzy getting a 3K with a 5-7, that's not something that's going to happen every single time. But a bit of a mistake there from Eternal Fire. Usually they've been pretty methodical in the way they approach some of these rounds, where even as the first guy going in, like everyone just kind of got bottlenecked in the apartment's position. So even if they lose just the SMG player, it's fine. They find out that it's going to be a stack. But Torzy just not content staying in the corner as Dexter comes charging out, looking to get the kill on the player inside a connector, but Woxic finds him, and look at the speed from Emor. There's no way they're expecting this.
No, and it feels like Torzy's days are numbered here as well. There's no reason for him check behind. There's no reason for anyone to assume that this position is now a viable choice for the teams, but it is. And BMAS holds on with JDC. They have dealt the fatal blow to Emor, but he's already got his man. He's taking off a huge piece on the table. But BMAS pushing into ramp has put the bomb on the deck. And in doing so, now Eternal Fire have to try and rummage together a master plan and how to pick this one back up and try and regain the speed in this round. They still have Woxic on 18 kills though. That open up, very healthy position, but 50 seconds on the clock. MOUZ playing together. They need Woxic to join in with Calyx. Really, this next kill is practically everything, and I don't know if they're leaving themselves enough time really to work with here. But now JDC's moving away. He's going to CT spawn.
But the longer they take, now that flashes tell. Now they know it's going to be the A play. 28 seconds. Eternal Fire, surely they don't run back towards B. They have to go for the commit, and now JDC. The reposition, it actually might work out here, Vince. They don't. Actually, they have a smoke and a flash.
That smoke's on connector, though. It's not going to affect JDC whatsoever. And he gets the frag on the cross. The bomb's now down again. 10 seconds to play with. Woxic, he can't pull this one out the hat. He's had so many miracle plays. But this is where he comes to an abrupt end. MOUZ live to fight another day, and they have finally broken down the funds of Eternal Fire.
Still a mountain to climb for the little MOUZ. Nice find from Woxic there. I believe he's playing the anti-flash as well. And I love that reaction from Emor. And that's the thing with Emor. He doesn't necessarily have the raw mechanical ability of someone like Xantares. In all honesty, not many people on the planet have the raw mechanical ability of Xantares. But it's just his decision-making as an individual. I don't know, as an IGL, I still have some questions as to some of the rounds that we've seen from Eternal Fire. But as an individual, he just seems to be a very, very smart player to me. He knows, when to go for some certain fast plays. He knows how to. He has a very good sense of awareness as well. And I really feel he is a very, very good asset for this team. But despite his heroics, somehow MOUZ able to pull that one back. As you said, Vince, money is not good here for Eternal Fire, but because of the amount of rounds they have to work with, it's not going to be a problem at all. Dexter to catch Xantares, and a nade could actually deal a bit of damage here. But no, yes, 7 HP for Woxic. It's on his head.
93 health from 1 HE. Was that right? Did he get tagged beforehand?
I am not sure. It did look like it was just a nade, though.
Oh, Torzy gets away with it because it's a Glock. Torzi's not quite had that same level of impact. Like, we were waxing lyrical about him on Nuke because he was just everywhere. He was landing every single shot. This Mirage has been a little bit more labored from him, but they still get the round done. Doesn't drop his ult, allows them to build up their cash a little bit. They have to contend now. The Turkish team going full all in with rifles.
They need to plug that hole. They need to plug the hole towards jungle, because jungle and window rather, because Emo's been getting in time and time again, right? Torzi was so lucky to be alive there. I don't even blame him for the missed shot. It looked like it was just caught off guard. Dexter once more will meet his maker inside of windows. And Taras, I think he got the kill right as the smoke bloomed.
Oh, the time on this is so rough. It's so rough. Frozen backed off of Catwalk at the very second then Zantares peeked up connector. And that caught the player completely unaware. They thought comm was clear. It was anything but. And our Eternal Fire making the most of these gaps in the defense with a post plant. Eyeing up, let's be honest, a 14-8. There's no way that Frozen and JDC even go for this, let alone win it. So they're only 2 rounds away now from taking us to Inferno. And that's purely off the basis of timing. Dexter dying in window kind of facilitated this as well, propagated the push. It just doesn't seem that MOUZ have really had any sort of defense to write home about here, Blair. Like, there's been so many little gaps and weaknesses that have been exploited.
How many times have we seen Zantares just single-handedly opening up the middle area, right? And Dexter has been a bit of a liability in some of these early duels towards mid. A couple of times already, or 3 times he's been taken down either by Woxic or by Zantares towards a window position. Well, this is a very emphatic rebuttal coming out from Eternal Fire, despite a bit of a streak that MOUZ went on. They're looking to deny the comeback here. They're looking to take this map number 3. Here we go. 14-8. 2 more remain for Eternal Fire. It's Torzi this time opting to be playing towards mid. A flashbang to allow a bit of a peek there for Frozen and Torzi. Then slightly delayed barrage of utility, forcing them back. Emo, once again, up to his shenanigans, tossing a bit of utility towards connector, but it's all a ruse. It's all going to be a play towards his B-bomb side. But Dexter, he's going to find his vengeance, able to get to as Frozen quickly trades, and that's the bomb as well.
That is the bomb. Still 2 players left, though. Zantares is one of those 2. Joined by xFloud. They got time to reroll their position. But with the bomb being down, as you highlighted, it does put them in such an awkward spot because Torsi can watch from the cross on Con. Additionally, they have Frozen up close. It feels like this is an untenable round. Eternal Fire, their money is good enough to squeak a buyout regardless of whether xFloud and Zantares survive or not. But they'd like to just dish a couple of more kills in this one and put MOUZ into a bit of an awkward spot themselves. This round is pretty much done, though. You have to feel. I mean, they could both explode out of Palace and maybe catch one of these players off guard because the position for Torzi right now is out in the open. I think he would be spotted, potentially. And BMAS is not watching into Palace. He's actually looking into the jungle right now. I'm not entirely sure about that positioning. But I think they're just darting back into Palace to save these 2 weapons here, Blair. So it's going to be a prolonged save. MOUZ with a 9th, based off Dexter's double spray through and middle. And so they do live to fight 1 more round at least. And putting a bit more pressure onto Eternal Fire. It's getting a little bit closer here, but it still feels like Eternal Fire. They can just unleash Zantares at any given point, and he can pretty much just win them around by himself.
That's the danger, right? Just that one tiny little slip up and it could all be for naught, no matter how many rounds MOUZ are able to grind back into this game. That is something. Let's see Cyclone as well. He's not looking as comfortable as he was on Nuke. We've seen crazier comebacks here thus far in this Roobet Cup then, so we've seen some pretty wild stuff. In fact, it was Eternal Fire. For those of you who probably missed the match yesterday, the game yesterday against Imperial, what was it, like 14-7 or something? Just grinded it back.
Yeah, I think it was 14-7, and they came back on this very map. So we have seen some crazy comebacks. Also, FaZe, obviously, they lost to Big, who came back as well, so it's happened a fair few times. Combo smoked off, and Emo's going to go for it, maybe.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of success here most of the times, especially towards that window. And there we go. He just somehow finds the timing. Almost every single time, if he goes for the window jump, that is. A lot of distraction being made by his teammates, and here we go. Emor is snuck on in again. But this time, Frozen is waiting, but Emor still comes out on top.
That's outrageous. If he can get any more kills from this spot, I mean, it is worth its weight in gold. Emor dashes out. This is so huge. The double spray, though, from Dexter's up to the task, and he may have heard that because he was preemptively spraying up through there. Emo's going to pass by him and nullifies him. He was low HP. Any bullet would have counted on both of those players. Another trade, back and forth, even affair. But it will be Emo and 22 that become 0, and MOUZ hit their double digits and break Eternal Fire's economy.
Dexter having to go big there. 2 kills for him. And despite the heroics of Emor, again, right? Like, how many times has he somehow found the timing? And this time Frozen was waiting for him, but still Emor being such a nuisance. Coming down to the 1v2, meaning MOUZ, they just don't feel comfortable. They have a semblance of money to work with, you know, a little bit, like about an average of, I think, 2,500, 3,000, an average amongst the 4 players. My maths isn't that great, so I don't know what the exact average amount would be, but yeah, there's no immediate danger. But again, they don't have too many options available, not too many chances available, rather. There's only 2 rounds needed for the Turkish side for we see map number 3. And they're not looking phased at all. For the time being, though, it is going to be a hero AK for Emor. All right, okay. The rest of them on Nico. I like the fact that Xantares has also purchased Kevlar. In case Emor falls, Xantares is like, all right, cool, my turn.
The perks of being an IGL, I will have the AK. You will give that to me.
All right, everyone save. But why are you buying? I'm the IGL. Shh.
Believe in the process, bro. And to be fair, Emo's had tons of impact on this team half. Like, the amount of times he's cut them down the middle. He's going to be playing alone, though, in the ramp, and he's going to be looking for this slow, methodical lurk. Meanwhile, though, Dexter takes the initiative, pushes in. Xantares is winging him from underpass. There's no one to help Dexter out. Torzy, though, does at least take out Woxic, so they won't be spilling fully out onto middle. But all amongst all this, it's the man, Emo, with the AK. He said trust in the process. They did, and they may very well be delivered with a round, but Emo's now being taken off by JDC. And although the bomb was initially going to transfer its way through T-spawn onto the A site, it quickly changes its mind. Xantares with that M4. This is where that Kevlar really does help him out. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough to fend off against the CTs, and they're already moving their way in. JDC with the off angle. Xantares is just going to be laid here and waiting, and JDC has no reason to peek too aggressively here. They know there's one player left. Just hold your angle. Hold the position, and the rest should fall into spot. Xantares, though, with 25 seconds, needs to pick up the pace. He's going to have to make noise at some point. He's dropped down, and JDC will put him down.
Nice shot from Xantares there to find Dexter. And yeah, for a moment, it looked like the trust in the process could have actually worked out, but MOUZ able to recover. I do like how MOUZ, despite, you know, being trailing so behind their opponents, they're not being really cowed, right? They're looking to still take the fights, especially towards mid. Of course, this one was just against the Pistols, but we saw a lot of deals being taken towards mid and whatnot. But I think Eternal Fire and this T side are doing a pretty solid job overall. Like the amount of distraction being created by Emor towards mid, they're able to somehow find the openings on the extremities of the map. They're able to abuse the rotations as well. JDC as well chipping in quite a bit for his team, the youngster, the latest addition.
Now, Frozen always seems just so chill. Every time the camera's on him, he's just vibing.
You remember the picture? I forgot which land it was. It was pretty recent where he had an ice bag on his head.
I haven't seen that one actually. Makes sense.
Trying to find it. It reminds me of remember when Nothing was playing for Cloud9? This is like back in, I think it was DreamHack 2016. Oh, during the tank top days. I think it was 2015. And I think he had a fever and was playing on LAN. He had the tank tops on and the ice bag on top of his head. You should find the picture. It's pretty funny, especially because it is frozen. But anyway, it's nothing funny about this round. It's very important for MOUZ, the aggression, and Emor. There we go. That is the look. That is the aggro look taken care of, and that means Eternal Fire, they have to go.
Centaura's in first, 23 kills, wants to add to that mark, may have to add to that mark if they're going to win this round. They have bypassed all the CTs. No one's on the CT boxes either, so they can just move straight in there. All of this re-engage is stacked around middle, is stacked around connector and jungle, and now that the smokes are starting to subside, MOUZ are in a bit of an awkward spot here because they have to explode back out of jungle with limited utility on a couple of players, but more importantly, they have to try and deal with the CT box side. And this is going to take valuable time up. Flashbang over there. Another flash. Lands in the eyes. Calyx gives his position away. Another flash comes in. JDC with one, but they trade back out with Dexter. And now Woxic watching across with his AWP. Nails the first player, but Dexter goes back in for seconds. Woxic with already two. Needs to just rinse and repeat, but the plant's not on him. Meanwhile, the bomb is so close to detonation, but frozen. Bodyguarding the diffuser of Dexter. And MOUZ live to fight yet another round.
Holy hell, that was close for MOUZ. Woxic needed his teammates to get a couple of kills here. Like, Xantaros is good for one on the trade, but that's it. So it was all down to Woxic, and he hit some real cool shots, but the bomb wasn't planted for him. And that was the problem here. Nice try there from Woxic, but MOUZ, it was... Some of these round wins have been scrappy, Vince, but they're getting it done. And now 14-12. The comeback is definitely on. 2 rounds separating them, tying things up, and for Eternal Fire, is it going to be all for naught? xFloud getting chunked down to 20 HP with a perfectly placed nade, but this is fast from Emor. He's going to come charging on out. They're going to come into this B play.
Full committal, and the spray is good, and JDC burns alive. No smoke to extinguish, just 2 free kills. And nothing particularly intricate, just a straight up B rush, and it's worked out flawlessly here.
Hello, JDC? Was he blind? I don't know. I am confused. It didn't look like he was blind. I didn't see like the flash effect fading away from him. Or it could have been a nade molly combo, perhaps. That could explain it, right? The nade chunks him down, and before he's able to escape, the flames burn away the whatever little bit life he had remaining. I think that is the only thing that makes sense there. But still, Eternal Fire, just stomping into the bomb site. Oh, and that's rough. Okay, let's take a look here. No, all right, we don't find it. But maybe it's one of those mysteries we'll never really have the real answer to, but it doesn't really matter because Eternal Fire are on map point, Vince, and they need one more, just one more to take us to map number 3.
One big play, one mistake away from Inferno. MOUZ have battled back pretty heroically, it has to be said, on the CT side. They had very little to really work with going into the second half. Making it close. Emor really coming alive after a pretty dismal nuke performance, but the same could be said for most of his teammates as well. Firebox occupied. But Torzi opens his account into round 28, and it's on to Emor. Pretty much been entry fragging / lurking most of this half, so that is a big scalp to take. And in doing so, it forces xFloud away. He was initially trying to try and push on the B site, maybe sell this fake, but now they're going to be pressing the go button, the green button, in the eyes of Eternal Fire. Dexter has still been undeterred from this position, doesn't need to move. This position is so vital. He needs to survive longer, but Xantares just drops down. And with the smoke coming into play as well, it allows the T's to start to press forward. There is a rotational play in from JDC, but it's all about how much they can delay this bomb plant, for how long. Now that the bomb has been planted down, it allows Woxic to watch his back. It allows one of these T's to just keep an eye over their shoulder. Calyx is now picking up that mantle. He goes back to deal with the frag and deals the death onto JDC. And with that kill, the round should follow suit. Frozen and Torzi remain against 3. The bomb's already ticking down ever so quick. They have no smokes or flashes to really deal with any of these positions. They need kills and Xfloud and Wox.
The drubbing on Nuke to take Mirage pretty convincingly overall. Even the scoreline was a little close, it was MOUZ always trailing behind, always trying to claw back into the game. So I'm sure they're feeling pretty confident. At the same time for MOUZ, looking at the way they played Inferno against Imperial earlier on, they should be feeling pretty decently confident as well. But it's all about how they handle the pressure, because again, this is elimination. This is to decide who's going to move on to the playoffs and who's going to go home, or rather stay back at home. And it looks like it is going to be Eternal Fire starting on the CT side, which I feel it's the right call, because MOUZ's CT side is pretty damn solid. So if Eternal Fire is able to get off to a good start, have like 10, 11 rounds perhaps, then definitely we could see fortune start to sway the way of the Turkish side. But here we go. Pistol round will be live. It will be the dualies being purchased and dropped for Emor. He's going to be a bit of a mini raid boss here. Calyx with a nade and a flashbang. Xcloud hasn't bought anything yet. Might be going for perhaps a smoke and a kit. Actually, no, nade and 2 flashes. So double nades being purchased by the CTs and not a kit in sight. For the Ts, though, we have similarly a P250 for Dexter. Doesn't have any armor for himself, but a smoke and 3 flashes. And it looks like it's going to be a fast swing towards Arch.
Already bypassing the smoke of the players that are on the quad side, and Frozen's taking point for his team. So he's just sprinted right across, having a secondary player come through, and the bomb is also going through the trajectory of the Yaps right now. Emor in the meanwhile with Woxic trying to hold on to the Yaps, but only Woxic survives. He doesn't need to go in for the repeat. It's a 3-on-3. And his position is going to play hell with the rest of the CTs right now. Xantares in the meanwhile, though, passes the bullet in the head of BMAS, and the bomb has been dropped outside into second mid. So Woxic just funnels his way back into second mid, doesn't have to go for any kind of peaks, and this is going to be such a difficult round to clutch at this stage. Woxic doesn't even need to get this kill. He can just sit here and wait. Relay it to the rest of his teammates. They're going for a faster rotation down on the middle side, and Xfloud is moving in right now. 2 flashes still accompany him to try and lock this one down, but they have successfully picked the bomb up. JDC and Frozen, their backs are quite literally to the wall in apps, but they still have a little bit of a chance to make this work. 30 seconds coming round the corner. Xfloud is caught with a flash out, and Frozen, I think, just saw Woxic as well, perched down at the bottom of mid. Xantares, though, has put the bomb on the deck, and in doing so with 20 seconds, Frozen is the next to fall. The Turks do get the round. It was a scrappy one. The pistol goes their way.
And even though Woxic gets just the 1 kill, it was a C4, right? Buying so much time, allowing Xantares to reposition himself inside of Graveyard initially, then dropping inside of the pit. Great stuff from him. There's actually Emor to open things up to find Dexter, and they were not able to retrieve the C4. And Bemus actually was in such a good position there, but he starts to take the duel with the player walking up Speedway, and Xantares knowing where he was. And look, the thing is for Xantares, the moment he knows where someone is, he's just going to swing, and 9 times out of 10, he's usually going to be coming out on top. MOUZ, they don't even get the bomb down, so it is going to be a full eco here. No investment, 0, nada, no flashes, no P250s, nothing. For Eternal Fire, it should be a very comfortable round. Xcloud's even gone for the Nova? Huh.
Not a gun you see every day. I'd still say, Vinny, it's better than your 8, though.
It's better. It does feel like a misbuy, though, right? I mean, I don't know, like the Nova in this situation when you know it's going to be like a force or a half buy. An SMG, yeah. I feel would be a better call there, but yeah, I mean, look, against the rifles, though, it could be problematic. Woxic, clean stuff there. Not a single casualty. Eternal Fire, they keep all 5 alive. I am curious to see what Xcloud's going to do with the Nova.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he kind of has to hold on to it, right? Because if he goes in for a repurchase, it feels like just wasted money. And the Nova point blank, if you hit a headshot, even through armor, is going to absolutely destroy somebody. If I'm not mistaken, the Nova is what, like B21 to buy a Nova, whereas obviously for the MP9 it's B31. So I wonder if it was just a misbuy. Like he's just done it too quick and
fat fingered it.
Yeah, it's possible. It does happen even at this level. Or maybe he intends to buy it and he's just going to prove us wrong and just, you know, shred through 2 or 3 players here.
Yeah, xCloud is operating in his own meta. Emo close at MP9 is that a little bit of a shot is a giveaway. He's going to come charging it out. Frozen, that's a free kill for him. Looking for more. He's barely taken any damage. He just scratched by the MP9. Incendiary though, deep. It's going to keep them at bay, but that's an early opening find. And the Nova has been tossed away. And that makes me a bit sad.
Feels bad, man. Well, that also suggests that it must have been a mistake, right? Because he's thrown the Nova away for an MP9. So I would have to assume that that is the declaration of intent being seen firsthand. In the meanwhile, though, Eternal Fire making moves over on the A site as Woxic is watching from long. Going to be joining his teammate, though, and there are smokes now down in play. One of which is on Library, one of which is on Arches. That's a well-timed Molotov. And it also allows Antares to start to make a move through as well. That flash and the pincer movement just shutting down the push. And now Woxic and Calyx in prime position to fend off the rest of these pesky T's. Torsi runs into the site, delivers the headshot. BMAS also surviving on 13 HP. Lucky for some, it would seem. And now at a 2-on-2, it will be a post plant. In just a few moments' time, the bomb will get finalized on Torsi. This is winnable now for MOUZ.
43 HP though, Vince. Now, the one thing going the way is there's no utility, right? And with Bemis tucked on in inside of Graveyard, but he's been spotted out. 1 bullet, and he's going to be a goner.
Taras is still pushing forward. He knows at this position it's all about Torsi at this point. He's taking him down. Oh, BMAS has no chance. No hope. Although he does take the headshot. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe BMAS can wiggle his way out of this one yet. 13 HP will become 0. Has he wasted enough time, though? There's no kit in play. This is going to be exceptionally close. This may come down to just milliseconds. I'm not sure he has this one, but he does just in time. The clutch comes through. Eternal Fire 3-0.
There was a kit right there as well, right in front of him. But xCloud is just trying to make things more interesting here. Nice attempt from Frozen, though. He should have been dead a long time ago, but the fact that he even lands that headshot, at least to get the bomb down, so we'll still see a buy coming out here from MOUZ. A pretty solid buy overall. The 3 AKs in play. Dexter with the Deagle. We've seen him pull off some pretty cool stuff with the Deag. There's Woxic. Nice flash there, but not quite able to find Dexter. See a lot of utility being deployed towards Banana as well. So Eternal Fire making the presence felt, but Frozen is tucked on in, just waiting patiently as a nade sails in. Doesn't deal too much of damage. It's going to be fine.
Oh, that was really cool.
Yeah,
shooting the wall to mask the jump up sound.
Small little things, Vince. Small little things. Beautiful thing about this game. Bemis decides that there's not much you can do as Emor, assisted by a nice pop flash from xCloud, will dispatch a Frozen. How do MOUZ react to this? They're all congregated outside of this smoke. There are only 2 defenders, and rotation is far, far away, Vince.
Yeah, the downside is they'll be pushing through a bottleneck, and there's 2 players, very capable players with rifles, but BMAS has removed the threat of xCloud. Emor now burning out into a barrage of bullets. And as you correctly said, with this rotation taking so long and being so difficult on low money, Eternal Fire tap out. They want no part of this round. Saving these 3 guns allows them to buy with xCloud on nearly 5k. He'll be over that mark after this round, of course, so they can come back in with a solid purchase. But some early warning signs, perhaps, of what MOUZ have up their sleeve.
Yeah, that was just a very clean take from inside of MOUZ. Despite losing Frozen, they were undeterred. Not losing a single man as well in incendiaries, yeah, making life miserable. And for the CTs, they use up so much of their smokes and their nades and whatnot towards Banana early on. They didn't have anything to extinguish the flames and maybe play behind the smoke, just to waste a bit of time waiting for the retake to come on in. But because of how turtled up they were inside a bomb site, Vince, even if they'd gotten a couple of kills, even if they'd gotten the trade, the rotation was so far away that MOUZ could have gotten a lot of forward positioning once they got the bomb down. So that was a bit of a rough one. As we have a tactical timeout getting called by MOUZ. Let's talk things through as to how they want to approach the next round. For Eternal Fire, won't be any trouble going for the buy. xCloud with the FAMAS. The rest of them, rifles about. It's Frozen nodding his head, listening to his captain.
There is the captain on your screen. Oh, it was Dexter, just for a few moments, pivoting across to all the players. Varying degrees of chill. There is Cyclone as well. So 3-1. Double AWPs in play. Now we know that Emo's proven himself a very capable secondary AWPer. He will be moving over onto the B side. He had a pretty good spawn for this, but he decides not to go for the full-on peak, as it wasn't the perfect spawn, and you kind of need to play around that as well. You can't just throw your AWPer in. That's a tactic that works in matchmaking and maybe FaZe. We're not at this level. They'll get punished so quickly from nades, mollies, flashes. So they're holding fire. Woxic goes for the peek down mid, but no one is home, so he just pulls the plug back to the site. If a stalemate falls upon us, but that Molotov, that's going to isolate these two. Smoke down. It doesn't fully extinguish the Molotov. Emo's just lost so much health off that. I know xCloud is stuck alone. Flash is good, but they don't push him behind it. Secondary flash, though, is there to try and deal the damage. USB comes out. It's a complete disaster of a round for both teams.
No, that is so grim. And Emo, another missed shot. 17 HP, as he said. Vince is taking so much damage from the flames, and Xantares comes running out, but the timing was the worst possible for him. At the edge of the smoke, no vision. You can see the look on his already. Bemis sneaking in. He can thread the needle here. In fact, he'll do one better. He's going to find Woxic. So now the defenders are isolated, and it's down on Calyx.
Good luck, Chief. I would not want to be in this position. I do not want to be in your shoes. He's looking left, he's looking right still. Cartwheel JDC out of this. Goes back in. It's such a nice effort. He nearly got 2. Torzy's down to 11. But with Emo on his 17 HP from the start of the round, all from a Molotov, you better believe he wants to hold on to this. And MOUZ not looking to charge him down just yet. So 3-2 will be the score. But that was such a strange and uncomfortable and claustrophobic B hit there. There's flashes and then counter flashes and then whiffed sprays. But MOUZ finally got the job done.
It was grim, right? For Emor, he wanted to smoke it a little bit more to the left-hand side, so there was still a gap for him to help his teammate out, right? Made total sense. But it was so very deep that it didn't extinguish the flames. So like you said, it was just standing around for so very long. In fact, it's pretty fortunate to be alive here. 17 HP, at least the AWP will still remain in play, while the rest of his team will have to go for an eco. And then xCloud as well, that FAMAS, the flash is good from Emor. Even though he fell back, it threw in a pop flash for his teammate to at least find one or maybe 2. But it was such a belabored spray that when he eventually gets a kill, it was with the USB and he was instantly traded. And I like how MOUZ didn't just commit off that, right? They took the time, and it was Bemis, I believe, on that flank towards short, able to find Woxic and isolate the player on the A bomb side, and that from that position, like, he was just getting swarmed from all sides. Even if he got 2, the round was done when he was only able to find the 1. And for Eternal Fire, yeah, they have the AWP, so that is something, a small consolation. But MOUZ, after a 3-round streak from Eternal Fire, this is their chance to tie things up here with a streak of their own.
Yeah, off the back of the pistol, Eternal Fire did lock it down, although obviously we had that BMAS 13 HP 1v2 attempt that very nearly went in their favor. So even the 3 rounds they picked up were looking a little bit rocky. That being said, MOUZ now, golden opportunity. It's one of those situations as well. I think it was Calyx that got flashed in behind sandbags, where you wish you had like Xantares there instead with his iron resolve, and he just never seems to panic in those situations. They did have a chance, but it was a very small one through the smoke. Not missing by a huge amount, though. They boosted up Emo. And meanwhile, Torzy puts his AWP to use onto Calyx, who tries to go for a cheeky peek up middle. Gets punished and pushed aside. This draws away Emo from the B site. There's that AWP, and it feels like he's going to have 2 or 3 kills bare minimum with this thing if they want to try and clutch this round down and make it theirs. And he gets aggressive, and he's able to pull the plug out of there with a flashbang alongside him. So that's the kind of picks they're looking for from Emo.
And how is he going to be heading back towards B bomb site? And what do MOUZ do is the question. Utility being deployed, and they're going to be pivoting back towards B. Nemor is going to be waiting for them once more. This one AWP in their hands, this could be the one that makes all the difference, but a whiff shot, and he's getting hunted down. The repeat comes in, and Torzi finishes him off.
I fully understand why you repeat that as well. It looks a little bit foolish, but realistically, when you have an AWP in play and that's it, if he gives that up on low HP and goes to like CT or something like that, you know you're going to get smoked out, you're going to get naded out, it's over. Re-peaking allows him the chance to maybe land a collat, maybe get one more kill that gives him a chance. In these kind of rounds, you kind of have to roll the dice. You kind of have to go for these kind of gimmicky or what will seem like very loose plays. Because if you play standard CS with one AWP against 5 AKs, the chances are you're not winning that. So I totally understand the decision making. Didn't quite pay off for them. Antares was very slow to react to that one, uncharacteristic for him. But he's not fully punished either. Dexter didn't frag him out. He'll survive on 66 HP.
MOUZ doing a good job tying things up. It did look a little scary though, and you said it as well, Vince, like the repick from Emor, he knew he had to go for a hero play, right? He was the only guy nearby and was going to be hunted down, so it was like, screw it, do or die, let's go for it. At this level of CS, when you just go for a dry repick, you will be punished, especially when you have Torzi on the other side. And he's one of the operas, you know, when you talk about Inferno T side and the AWP, there are many primary operas in top tier, tier 1, tier 2 Counter-Strike who decide not to go for the op, and totally understandably so. They're like, yeah, screw it, I'm just going to stick with the rifle. It's better. But Torzi's someone who can still make the op look so lethal on the T side. Not many operas in the world can do that this convincingly. Here we go. A bit more of a bold posturing, but JDC spots Xantares, and he comes charging out. That's Dexter, and a Calyx caught in the corner, but Woxic running in through the smoke. That is a huge play from Woxic to save his teammate, and Torzi looking to get the trade, but Woxic will clothesline him. That's a fantastic hold to the top of mid.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful play from Eternal Fire. Some questionable decisions from MOUZ, though. At the same time, the utility was not on the same page whatsoever. Eternal Fire can't believe they're locking that one. And now a 2-on-4 falls upon us. It's 3 rounds in a row to MOUZ, but they're making it a little bit more costly. Woxic goes walkies. That's the AWP that's now been put on the deck. And if Calyx falls the same way, that would have opened up some business through on short side. But he does manage to just return the favor. Frozen, still fully healthy, fully capable of making this a close one, but Emor will shut him out of the mid.
It's such a great find coming in from, I do believe it's JDC plucking down Xantares. So now you know what the second player is behind the smoke. That's Woxic. There's not much you can do. And I think Dexter just runs out alone, looking towards the left-hand side, I believe. And he just gets taken down. And there was no flash, no nothing. And then Woxic with the hero play, walking in through the smoke. That was the play that saved his teammate, because it looked like Calyx was going to be traded. It's a great hole coming in there from Eternal Fire. A couple of mistakes from MOUZ getting punished despite the opening pick, but here we go. Still going to be a buy, a comfortable buy for the side of MOUZ, and this time, again, JDC able to take down Xantares, but once more the trade will take place. Woxic still going to be holding the angle. It's going to be smoke off apartments, and Emor all by his lonesome. Bullet goes sailing past him, and he tosses in a deep smoke and tries to peek with it. Great stuff there. And able to keep them at bay, at least for the time being.
It's back and forth throughout. I have to feel it's probably going to favor MOUZ in the bigger picture. If they can continue to just keep 1 round behind, take this half, 8-7 maybe, deficit 9-6. You saw when they played against Imperial, their CT side was very, very strong, especially with Torzi's AWPing. Emor on the off angle, getting 1. Any more than this is a bonus, and he's gone for 2 more. That's absurd. Single-handedly gets the kills, 40 HP, falls back to the site, and now xFlow can just bolster it up, and MOUZ get wrecked by 1 player.
How much can Bemis do here, though? 27 seconds, there's still time for his teammate to arrive. We're still going to have to rely on the flashbang. Good flash, good sequence of flashes. Blinded both the players, but the peak comes on in, and Incendiary as well. 15 seconds here, Vince. I feel like they might even just have to go for the Save. Great flash reply coming in from the CTs, and it's all on Torzi, and I don't think he can even save. They might just be hunting him down here.
He's taken the one pathway that could survive. It's actually such a smart decision by Torzi. And they knew it as well. They were trying to spray him through the wall. He will keep that AWP in play, but another tactical timeout is called from MOUZ. It was going pretty well. They picked up their 3 rounds in a row. These last 2, though, have gone the way of Eternal Fire. And now the money situation is looking a bit dicey. And that might be another reason why they've called this. If they want to fully purchase behind it, you have 2 weapons. Maybe Dexter can also dip down, like a Galil or something like that. But it's going to be a shaky buy if they go for it. I'm not sure they will, Blair. I think this is like a 50-50.
Yeah, this is one of those calls you have to make, right? They can go for the buy. But if they don't save any weapons, and if they lose a round though, and they don't save any weapons, then it's going to be, again, a bit of a half buy. They will have money, but it won't be enough for, you know, AKs and armor and all of that. Unless they can maybe get the bomb down, perhaps. But yeah, a hard call to make, and they're going to go for the more conservative approach, which I'm totally fine with. Pistols. For 4 of them, and they're going to try and work around the AWP of Torzi. Woxic though. These run boosts have been pretty solid. He hasn't really found any openings from them though. This is a dangerous game. You gotta remember the AWP is still in play. Nade sails in. Massive damage, over 100 points of damage being taken by Frozen and Torzi from that 1 HE. And the flash is good, but Torzi, he times it to perfection, finds Emor, and don't forget, simultaneously, Calyx has fallen into Dexter's Deagle. Calyx just out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that is a head scratcher for me, man. Like unless they assumed that MOUZ went for a full-on buy and they were going to try and get aggressive up banana, and that was like the nuts play, you know? They're all going to be bananas stuck behind our grenades, and I'm going to spray them all in the back, but that is a very strange decision, and it's backfired horrifically. It's an AK now for free. It's been gift-wrapped across the MOUZ. Eternal Fire, Molotov to the left-hand side, and a flash up and over. Allows Woxic to force his attention on the right-hand side of Banana if he wants to get aggressive here. That grenade, though, is going to finish off Frozen and do a bit of damage to JDC in a well-timed smoke. Basically cancels the flashbang that was tossed in. But there is also a rotational play in. Dexter has already made moves all the way across to the Archer's side. And if xFloud's not careful, he could be another victim. But he'll catch Dexter in the side. And it could be coming apart at the seams now for MOUZ, as the spray is so good from Pit. Xantara's with 2. And Torsi gets dunked from range. They manage to salvage a 5v3.
If you're going to be heading into the A-bomb site and you're not ready for Xantaras, you are in for a world of pain. 3K for him. Good assist as well from his teammate from Library, but yeah, that was all Xantaras. Perfectly placed nade as well. So it's been streaks of 3 rounds for both the sides. It was 3-0 for Eternal Fire, then MOUZ tied it up. Now Eternal Fire have gone on a bit of a streak of their own. Despite those early 2 openings from MOUZ not really getting much done. But you got to remember, that was just the pistols being purchased there, right? Working around the AWP. So now we will have a buy for MOUZ. No AWP, though, for the side of Torzi. He's going to hit the flick. No, he's not. He just switches at the worst time possible. And flash is good as well, but Emor still able to reply back, still able to stay alive. The second flash is still very, very effective, though. And with that, the B bomb side has been cracked, but xFloud is here.
Well, the timing as well in the smoke. Just before it plumes, he goes in and sprays in for 1. Nearly a second. Torzi can count himself lucky on 48 HP. But the smoke will afford the bomb plant a bare minimum. And the CT's in one of those awkward economic situations where saving the 2 would afford them a full plant, or a full buy, I should say, pardon me. And they don't want to go for that post plant. So they will be tapping out. That's just Inferno in a nutshell. B-side is so difficult to retake. Even if you have tons of cash and 2v3s, it definitely is a big, big disadvantage for the CTs. There's so many angles you have to cover. There's so many angles you have to deal with. You're looking at both players having incendiaries and HEs bare minimum for that retake possibility.
For sure, it's the right call. Also, if you look at the economic condition here, I think Calyx can drop a gun to... Yeah, Calyx can drop a rifle to Emor. xFloud can buy for himself, and Woxic has got enough cash to go for the AWP buy. So yeah, Calix can drop an A1 for Emor. Xcloud can buy maybe a FAMAS perhaps, or he's been going for some of those unconventional buys, so might even just go for the MP9 and like a ton of utility, or might even bring out the Nova. I don't know. Box is gonna go for the op buy. There you go. So it's not shabby at all. Ooh, called it. But he's gonna trade it with Emor. Close enough, Vince. I'll take that W.
All right, yeah. Just this once. Mystic Blair on the case. HE down middle is being tossed in. Oh man, that looked like it was going to destroy MOUZ. It looked like it had the trajectory to land on 3, but apparently it just landed just shy on the other side of the wall. Pushing up aggressively, Woxic and Emor have this one locked in. Flashbang through, Emor gets aggressive. Even though there's no kills coming out, he is close enough proximity. That Molotov will probably extend on the last tick. I'm not sure it's going to be a close one. If it does, he's in trouble. It doesn't. He's lucky. And that might bait them into a false sense of security here. Woxic is just taking the ball down, though! And he's allowed that safety net because of Emor's positioning. But he doesn't need him to move an inch. And the Turkish star AWPer shows us why, once again, he is revered when he's on form. BMAS and JDC have made moves into the apps, but they don't have control over the bomb. So even if they explode out here and kill both Xantares and Calix, and that's a real big if, it may not end up mattering. First kill goes through. They do. They nullify both the players, but now they have to go back down to Banana. The bomb has been spotted by Emor alongside Woxic. I can't see how they get this one done, Blair. This feels like it's done already.
Yeah, 30 seconds as well to work with. They can't dilly-dally. They got to go for a play. They have to go for a play right now. And they have 2 flashes, though, and Woxic. He is on for the ace. And Bemis is like, do I, don't I? And he just gotta fade away from there, but I don't think he can even escape. Xcloud's lying in wait. Xcloud's gonna have him. What a round. What a beautiful sequence of kills from Woxic. Unburdened of the IGLing duties, just we're starting to see signs of it. I want to see more consistency, of course, but my oh my.
I mean,
Emor didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, but it also allowed Woxic the kind of clarity and the safety in his head that, like, okay, if I miss a shot, Emor has them as they push me as well, which makes a big difference to an AWPer's mentality. But also, I have to ask a question, MOUZ. 3 players, 1 by 1, you don't even flash. Like, there was nothing to really deter Woxic's position. They're going to pick up the pace, though, get aggressive, and wouldn't you know it, Woxic's connected through the smoke, and Calix will finish off the rest on the very wounded players. BMAS in the apps, not for the first time, one of the last players. Nice deagle. But Woxic will strike again for the 16th time in the half.
Eight and 4. It's kind of like, you know, you go towards B and there's Woxic there. All the Woxic's been primarily playing towards the A bomb side or towards the archway. But imagine you go towards B, there's Woxic playing lights out, and you go towards the A bomb side and there's Xantares sitting in the pit like a gremlin, looking to just drag you down 6 feet under. It's not a comfortable spot to be in if you're MOUZ, but still, Vince, 8 and 4 is still a very competitive scoreline. It's neither. It's still not swaying either of these two ways of these two teams, and this is a bit of a switch up. This is a bit of a switch up. A 2-man back-to-back hold inside of apartments, and Xantares alone right outside of Boiler.
Oh, this is going to need BMAS to pull off some serious entries, or perhaps just JDC to have his impact. Xantares, though, going to be lining up with Made up and over. He's getting pushed in the meanwhile from mid. And MOUZ lock it down. The switch up backfires. It does not work. Emor's thinking, do I push through the smoke? Decides against it. Backs off onto the B side of the map. I honestly thought with that setup and the fact that MOUZ at no point have gone for the usual spray that a lot of T sides will do. There's a lineup that you can get. You basically stand on the bridge, you spray through the second window, and it kind of goes straight down the hallway. And if anyone pushes through there, they get destroyed by that. We haven't really seen MOUZ go for that spray, and I think that might be one of the reasons why Eternal Fire think, right, let's stack a few players and apps. The thing is, though, I can only assume that entry from JDC that was on the second mid hallway push was really rapid and like a crazy headshot around the corner. And that completely wrecked Xantares, I think, was that secondary player. You had to watch like 3 angles at once at that stage. So I hope we get to see that entry from JDC, because I feel like it would have been really quick.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head there. I did love the switch up though, but yeah, just the way MOUZ were able to crack it open wasn't being some blinder of a shot from JDC. So far, we've been catching a lot of the replay, so we should hopefully find this one as well. But MOUZ, they get their 5th as we enter the 14th round to remain in this half. Or maybe we'll see the replay later on, Vince. Maybe we'll see in like a proper highlight package at the end of the half. But for the time being, Eternal Fire, they still have the weaponry. The thing is, if MOUZ were able to break Eternal Fire here, it won't be a solid buy come the final round. And that could be MOUZ potentially, again, potentially heading to a round number 7. Torsi will decapitate Emor, and they know there's usually just the one player who plays with Emor, that's xFloud. Molotov as well to flush out Woxic from trying to be a bit aggressive, maybe looking to find some information towards apartments. And the MOUZ, they slow things down to a crawl after getting that first kill.
Yeah, this is where sometimes teams will get desperate. They'll throw in their utility a bit too preemptively. Molly's double down. They need that smoke to come in to help xFloud. But the Molotov thrown in return and a flashbang. Well placed counter utility. But there's still a minute left, and that's a lot of utility now already expended. Another incendiary down on top banana. There's still so much time, and they have 1 smoke and 3 flashes left. This is so dicey for the CTs. Obviously, there's no way for MOUZ to know this, but if they've been counting and doing their due diligence, which you better believe they will be, they know there's a lack of grenades still available on the B side of the map.
Well, here comes a hit though. Frozen just tossing in the utility to eke out a reaction. It's keeping the 2 CTs pinned there, and here they come. Straight to Woxic and Calix. The flash is good, but actually it's going to be a bit of a team flash there. And now it's all on Woxic. It's all by his lonesome. A nice little upward flick. This 3rd kill, however, won't go his way as Torsi will finish him off in Eternal Fire. I did mention, Vince, if they lose this round without saving any weapons, it's going to be a grim buy coming into round number 15. So Xantares and xFloud, they will have to peel away. Oh, what an opening from Torsi, catching Emor, and despite the efforts of Woxic here, finding 2 kills, it was just not enough.
What could have been if he connected that 3rd? Could have put things in a very different position, but as it stands, MOUZ are drawing this back ever so close to a quality come that second half, or as close as it can be, of course. 8-7, I think, would be a fantastic result, all things considered, as they would move across onto the CT side. We said Inferno, classic decider map, is typically a very tight game, a very close one between teams, and it's living up to that mantle now. But I would say, honestly, coming out of this half, if it is 8-7, then you're looking at Eternal Fire thinking, man, we really let this one slip a little bit, because at one stage it looked like they'd get a bare minimum of 10 rounds.
Yeah, for sure. Like, they had a crazy start at the beginning. MOUZ bring it back. What was it? It was 3-0, then 3-all, and then it was 6-3 for Eternal Fire. So ever since then, MOUZ have actually had a bit of a lead. Still, if they can get to 9, they're could be feeling a little bit more comfortable. Bit of a stack here between Emor and xFloud. Have a lot of utility as well to deploy if needs be. What they're trying to do here, Vince, is trying to get that initial kill and throw a Molotov right at their feet as Frozen comes running across the corner. That's information gained. They know where the 2 CTs are. And Dexter even spotting the player, just hopping his way back towards safety.
Love that idea, though. Kill, smoke, double nade. Bank the double nade off the wall, and if they were waiting around the corner playing anti-flash, that would have killed someone, or at least severely wounded them. Very nice little protocol called in from Eternal Fire. And you're dead on. It was 6-3, and then it was 8-4. So it has been multiple rounds back-to-back now on the side of MOUZ.
This is the right call as well. You can see Xantares rotating back towards the CT side because he knows that there's not much utility remaining for the CTs. There's still 1 incendiary, though. They can delay MOUZ with a little bit more, but they're going to come charging on in.
Oof. It's a lot of damage, though, and it also isolates Dexter. His teammates have to wait behind him, lest they get burnt to a crisp as well. Good Molotov down, good follow-up damage, but now Xantares through the smoke has got himself 1. There's 2 players here, firing squad through there, and they're going to boost up as well. Surely they realize this, and good bodyguard in play from Torsi. Just denying the kill. They line up, and there was nearly a double spray down. but instead it's BMAS that dips in twice. And Calyx walking over the corpses of teammates with a deagle is the last player to fall. So it will be 8-7, an incredibly close half of Counter-Strike, but one that Eternal Fire will rue their missed opportunities in.
I really felt like Eternal Fire had done enough there, right? They had the stack going, but Dexter patiently waiting, and Torzy again able to prevent Xantares from getting more than a kill. And then that was kind of nuts from BMAS though. Just goes for the spray, sees the second player as well. Unfortunately for him, his bullets were heading that direction. 8-7. Eternal Fire, tiny lead. Just a one round. In this game, it's poised on a razor's edge, Vince. It can easily go either way. And for MOUZ, they have left only Dexter towards B. He's going to be playing way at the back. He has the one nade to work with. And he has donated his smoke and a flash to JDC, who's all the way over towards the A bomb site alongside the rest of his teammates. So 4 players with USPs and Kevlar, and Dexter pretty much naked with an HE.
I assume he's just going to be like shoulder peeking or something from coffins, and once he sees players, he's going to toss that nade in. Yep, here it is. Nade up and over. What damage is it going to be? Quite a lot onto Emo. If he just waited an extra millisecond, it could have been so much more. Now Dexter is hiding behind the coffins. Xantares pivots in for one. It's a bait and switch, but they do check their angles. Xcloud gets crippled from the headshot. Now Emo goes in from strength to strength. It looks like the Turks are doing well, but they haven't checked the sandbags. Woxic is letting them all pass. Woxic could have just locked this one down. He waits for them to line up in a straight line for him to just domino effect in, but does miss out on the third kill. BMAS, with 3 kills to his name already, has no kit, needs to get on the site, needs to tickle out, draw the T's out into the open. I think he hasn't left himself enough time though, and that Woxic play from sandbags was the final nail in the coffin of this pistol. Eternal Fire re-extend their lead to 2.
They weren't expecting two bait plays there. We saw the first one towards Banana Vince. It was BMAS checking the corner, getting the kill. They didn't expect the second one in sandbags as well. Oh, what a cheeky play from Eternal Fire in the heat of the moment. And Woxic, patience. Patient play there. Could have actually got all 3, but honestly, getting 2 kills right there was more than enough. The round was pretty much guaranteed there. This is the play. Patiently waiting, lining them up. And he got the 2 of the players who actually had HP to work with. So BMAS in the end, even though he stays alive, he was low and healthy, had no idea where the other 2 T's were, and the bomb was ticking away. That being said, though, we have lost Xcloud early on. Eternal Fire going to come charging up here towards the arch position. Smokes for the library, and the pincer is on with the 3 CTs waiting.
Oh, one of which is Torzy and Dexter both land 1 deeks. Out comes Calyx from the balcony, but it's labeled with a MAC-10. Woxic, though, managing to neutralize the site. Want to torch this and raise it to the ground now. Eternal Fire needs to pick that bomb back up again. Damage inflicted to both Woxic and Calyx. 2 rifles in play, and both of MOUZ have Kevlar. Aim punch will not be a problem. In terms of firepower, they actually have the advantage, but the SMG up close is where it typically shines its brightest, and Calyx is using the graveyard as his final resting place for this round. See if he can be resurrected. But yeah, the lack of kits is an issue, and that could be why MOUZ need to pick up the pace. May feel compelled to go for this right here, right now. One of these angles will go untouched. Calyx shows his hand, baiting out though, so that his teammate can have the last say, and they've taken too long. They've taken too long. MOUZ have to pull the plug. They have to get out, and JDC will not survive.
The bomb blast radius, though. Cal's actually lucky to stay alive on 32 HP. That's something we kind of tend to forget, because we really haven't seen too many Infernos played. And the last time we saw it was MOUZ, right? And where they completely dominated on the CT side. So we never really saw too many bomb plants towards A. But yeah, with the bomb plant changes, a lot of Ts are going to be planting deeper into the site. They won't usually be going for the default plant unless they have no other option available. That means when you want to save, if you're planting deep, that means even as a CT, if you're looking to save, you want to save way more back deeper into the B bomb site. Here we go, though. Eternal Fire, as Woxic able to find Frozen. The boost, they know there was someone nearby. JDC will go scampering away to safety. Eternal Fire, this is a bit of a... Looking to approach is a bit of a bonus round, why the hell not? You know that it's primarily pistols for the majority of the players of MOUZ here. There is Bemis with the Zeus out, and he is being a bit of a goblin inside of apartments. But unfortunately for him, Vince, there's no one there. Eternal Fire are going to be making their way towards B, and that's a lot of damage from JDC.
Damage is good. Calyx on forward. Dexter pushes through that smoke. There's a team kill as well.
Sorry, what?
Great shot, but it won't be enough. And the Goblin, as you coined him, is now going to have to... what would a Goblin do? Like shuffle? Crawl? Meander, I guess? He's going to meander down to the bottom mid with his use and USP.
I think meander is such a nice word for a goblin. You know what I mean? It's such an elegant word. Like, I feel more like goblin with stomp. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a more goblin-esque way of pronouncing like walking, like crawling around. I don't know. Englando not so good, Vince.
Well, this headshot was very good from Xantares, and that cracked open the site, and the rest was history, really. Jumping Mach 10. Yeah, this was just chaos. There was a team kill in. To be fair, though, 4 HP for Calyx. Any bullet from his teammates was going to do the job.
Yo, Xantares, what the hell was that? Just assassinating chickens straight out of spawn. Not just one, 2 of them. Just doing nothing. They were harmless. But I tell you what's not harmless. This hit towards the top of Banana. JDC blinded, shot at, naded into oblivion, and he's done. And Eternal Fire, they're going to continue to push on ahead. Frozen at least able to find one, but now they know. They've taken down 2. Rotation has taken place. Are they going to continue to push on in? Anti-flash play for Emor. And Dexter's still able to spray down 3. What?
Calyx still in this round, though. Still in this round, but Torzi will deny him with the AWP. And MOUZ, somehow, courtesy of Dexter, survive. And such an important moment in this game. Their economy was tipped on the balance. It still is, to be honest. That could have been Eternal Fire's golden ticket towards the finish line. But this spray is so huge. They lined up for him. They couldn't really fight back. There's a flash also tossed in afterwards. That deficit now down to 3 in Eternal Fire. It's their time to feel the burn of the economy. They themselves are also very low.
That was such a Hail Mary play coming out from Dexter. And Emor was even waiting for that. Once you saw him, he was playing the anti-flash. But somehow Dexter just sprays them down and they all line up for him. And this one is a rough one. It is a forced buy, but Emor and Xantares have been lost very early on. Still have the AKs in the hands of Woxic and Calyx, however. But this is aggression from MOUZ. You can see how forward position they were towards the brackets position and towards Banana. They were taking fights aggressively on both the fronts. So now slowly creeping their way up towards brackets, but they still have to contend with Torzi playing towards Arch. And Bemis and Dexter totaled up inside of Pit. Frozen, he's not alone. He's just going to be the one to spot the player out. And the moment he sees someone, he should be scampering back. He sees a player, and there we go. Doesn't stick around for the fight. He's got backup in the form of JDC. Smoke will be deployed, and they're going to delay them further.
2 flashes as well on JDC. 40 seconds. That smoke's going to eat up a lot of time. It will feel like it's eternally down right now, as the T's don't really have the time or the map control to reposition back onto the A site. So they have to just hit this right here, right now. And they'll be coming in. JDC lining up the pop flashes now for the approach on the T side, allowing Frozen to really pivot into play. 1 flash through, no one affected by it. 2nd flash as well, and Frozen misses the mark. He gives them a chance. And Eternal Fire snatch it with both hands. Xfloud and Woxic still alive. A round that MOUZ simply had to win. They still have 3 pieces, though, in which to play with. And Dexter, the puppet master, will try and pull the strings. That shot missed somehow from Torsi. He must have moved just before pulling the trigger. And the implications of that for MOUZ are dire. Spraying from Woxic, good for 1. And now 8 HP on Xfloud to try and clutch this one out. Wrong side of the smoke. Gives his position away. BMAS does have a kit. There's not much ammunition left. Has to switch across to the Tech-9. Full defuse comes in. And BMAS will take Xfloud with him. MOUZ somehow win it. And there's only 2 rounds that separate the 2 teams now.
I'm not too sure why he gave away his position there. Maybe an itchy trigger finger, perhaps. There was a smoke there as well, right, Vince? And he hadn't tapped the bomb yet, so bit confusing for xFlout. It was also very nervous because he had been tagged down to a very low HP by Torzy earlier on. But the stick comes on through. It's got to be a bit of taste of the amount of Eternal Fire, considering they were able to somehow break into the B bomb site and get the bomb down. But the 1v1, you know what the saying, how the saying goes, pros did not fake. And MOUZ, they get their 9th. Bit of a tactical timeout getting called. Still a 2-round lead for Eternal Fire. They're still very, very much in this game and still should be feeling pretty confident. That being said, MOUZ are being tenacious.
Well, we said going into this game how close it would be and how much we expected it to be. Maybe not the greatest Counter-Strike, but it'll be entertaining. It'll be end-to-end. I think it's lived up to that so far. Torzy is peeking down, but a Molotov kill onto Frozen. I assume some HEs were involved in that as well. Not sure what happened, but Frozen just getting out. He's not really been a factor in this Inferno. He's typically one of the players you look at to have big performances. He's in that trio with the Torzy, BMAS, and Frozen, and so far, he's had a bit of a rough go of it. It's a rough day at the office on Inferno here.
And they're aware there was Frozen, who's usually not the B player, getting taken down. So they're like, yeah, it's fine. Let's actually head back towards A, where the defense might have been a little thinned out. I feel very uncomfortable here for MOUZ, Vince. These SMGs, these pistols, they can just run over them, even though they have the rifles. They're playing very close angles.
It's not much of a safety net either. If they lose this round, the harness will come undone. They'll plunge probably to a 13-9 deficit. Torzy, great flick. But the answer is in from Xantares. Torzy's able to keep that open play, keep taking players with him as he reaps 4, and he's looking for the ace, but he'll be denied. Woxic comes in and deals the fatal damage, but Torzy should have done enough to yield this round for his team. It is Woxic on 26 kills, though. You can't write him off, but Dexter is going to put him down with the M4. An exquisite hold from the Hungarian, and he may have just saved MOUZ in this match.
That was all Torzy. That was all Torzy, all alone. His teammate had fallen there. Xantares with a brilliant shot, and the way he just, the shots he was hitting, the re-peek as well. They weren't expecting that, were they? This one is brilliant. First, he catches Calyx, and then the re-peek so fast, so quick on Xantares, and a bit of an upward flick onto the jumping xCloud. Yeah, just every kill there was a thing of beauty from Torzy. Under so much of pressure, still able to deliver. Just beating them down with his big stick, and MOUZ are now 1 away from tying things up. Eternal Fire. That was already just a bit of a forced investment from Eternal Fire, right? We saw the Mag-10s, the Tech-9, 1 AK, and I think there was a scout in the hands of Woxic. So now they're down once more to just the pistols. Again, a bit of utility to work with. And once more, this is something we alluded to earlier, Vince, how MOUZ like having 3 players early towards B here, as JDC going for a bit of a spam through the smoke. That's going to give away his position. And Eternal Fire wasting no time. It's going to be just charging on up towards Arch, where Torzy, a missed shot, but it's information conveyed to his teammates.
It is a missed shot, but it is gained information. Dexter BMAS making this a gauntlet that is too difficult for Eternal Fire to bypass. And Woxic now in the pit, this smoke, a bit of a one-way. He's given his position away. He's only had 1 bullet left in the magazine, but it doesn't end up mattering a great deal. It still goes the way of the CTs. It still will be us tied up at 11-11.
Let's see what Eternal Fire can do now once again with the buy. Woxic has had a monster game, Vince. 27 kills for him, but it's seemingly not enough for his team to close this one out. MOUZ just refusing to die. Score's tied up here, Emor. Oh, the timing, the flash is so good, but Frozen not quite able to get anything done. JDC, however, lobbing in the nade, finishes off the job that his teammate wasn't quite able to do. A bit, you said this earlier as well, but Vince, it's been a very quiet game for Frozen.
Yeah, he's not quite been at that level that you'd like to see from him. And sure, some of the other players have picked up the slack. But it does feel like maybe if he can activate, if he can come online, that could be the difference maker that MOUZ need to lean on in order to just grind out that extra few rounds. Good spray from BMAS. Opportune peak yields a lot in return. And it is that man Zantares. That's a big pick to get. It does force Eternal Fire, though, to respect that mid prowess. And they're going to try and deal with this one, but a well-placed smoke. I think there's a gap in that smoke, though, on the right-hand side, which Eternal Fire may try and exploit. They don't just exploit it, but they take the head of BMAS in the... as well. Torzi with one flashbang up and over. We've already seen him have heroics a couple of times. This would be really going above and beyond, and the Molotov forces him into an awkward angle, and Calyx will do the rest. 2-on-2, but they've managed to brute force their way onto the site, and it will be a post plant.
Woxic inside of the pit. That's a very comfortable spot for him to be in. Calyx just waiting for the smoke to dissipate. Is he going to still stick on around? He can't drop on back down. If he does, oh, he does manage to do so. Right as the smoke fades away. Now both the position known for the tease, and Calyx has to be flushed out, but he somehow stays alive, and Woxic's holding the angle. He knows where Dexter is, and Woxic will not miss. One more kill remains for the Turkish Opera to get to his 30 bomb. And he's been so impactful, so instrumental in Eternal Fire's success thus far. And for MOUZ, well, that was a rough round, because if you look at the money, it is looking a bit grim. The flash, I think, was that a team flash? I'm not too sure. But Frozen wasn't able to get the kill, but nonetheless, Eternal Fire get to 12. This is just a brawl, a street brawl between these two teams. The force buy is in here, Vince. 2 A1s, 2 Deagles, a FAMAS, minimal utility for the CTs. I don't even see a singular kit in play. And Frozen already down to 30 HP. This is looking grim. Emo's going to come charging around the corner, but he will meet his maker. And the smoke actually keeping his teammates at bay, so the trade won't take place, and Frozen will survive. He will escape by the skin of his teeth.
The fact that he survives stops the charge from coming in, so allows them to draw over a third player from the A side. It seems that Eternal Fire, they're not content with the fact that B site was taken away from them. They are stubborn. They want to hold in. Flashbang for the peak, but no one's home. JDC would have been heard to xCloud's right-hand side. Silent drop throw may catch him off guard as he comes through. There's the second flash. JDC with one. I love that he backs off and waits for xCloud to re-peek him. That's so smart. He's not sure if there's a second player down on Banana, so he's taking the kills that are guaranteed and forces himself back. And this is all off the back of them only having 3 rifles. They can't even afford an advantageous position in terms of manpower to throw any of these rifles away. So well played by JDC there.
See the way they were totaled up as well there, Vince. Like, you take a look at the radar, see where Frozen is. He's boosted up and is looking towards CT spawn. As Woxic is looking the right way, but there's a massive wall between him and Dexter. And that is, yeah, that is such an important round. And I just cannot believe Frozen actually escapes. That is big. And yeah, the 2 rifles will be saved, but an AK-47 retrieved by Torzi and JDC. Now they have 5 guns to wield. As MOUZ, they're not making it easy. Every step forward for the side of Eternal Fire, and MOUZ, they match their step.
Blow for blow. They exchange in the center of the ring. And the heavyweights in this encounter is Woxic. And on the side of MOUZ, you'd probably say BMAS, but no one's really outshining the rest of the pack. It's more of a team effort on that side. More of a collaborative effort here. Zantares goes in for that peak. The jump peak doesn't really pay off in terms of any kills on the side of MOUZ, but they can draw away their fire, start to back away. Both players have the utility they need to fend off this push, but already taking very aggressive Banana control. This time that flash was read from a mile away. They've gone for this too many times, MOUZ. They had counter flash, anti-flash positions. And now the smoke comes down to at least afford a little bit of safe passage to go back and forth. JDC holds the line for one. He needs to get more frags though, as they barrel down on him with pistols, with rifles, and it's Xfloud's Tech 9. And it seals the deal onto JDC and potentially the site as well. They're waiting for these rotational plays to come in, one of which is BMAS. But they don't have any grenades to play with. They're going to deny the bomb plant, but for how much longer? Because trades back and forth will continue to be to the advantage of the T's. Jump across as well from Emo. I'm not sure if BMAS saw this, but he now hears the bomb being planted down, and there's nothing he can do about it. BMAS needs to come through. He needs to get an entry on either Banana or Pool. As they peek out, the spray goes awry, and now Torzi is stuck between three different angles. The chances of clutching this are so very slim. He can maybe get Xcloud first, who's on low HP, but then it's all about these last two players. And with no smoke, he can't cordon off one of these areas. He's desperately scrambling for a peek, just for anything, a crumb that he can exploit. But instead it's Emo from the side, and Eternal Fire take their 13th.
And in turn, they have almost broken the money here for MOUZ. We have a couple, they can't go for the force, but this is, you don't go for the force here. We really don't go for the force. I love how Xcloud, like, he only peeks once to find Dexter, and he just remains AFK at the back of the side. He's like, I'm just gonna stay here. You're gonna have to like push on in to find me. And that just buys so much of time, although it was looking nigh impossible for the retake to take place. And this is call from MOUZ to go for the full eco, which should, at least on paper, allow Eternal Fire to get to round number 14. Nades are lying in wait. BMAS is delaying them for quite a bit. The USP is actually dealing a lot of damage, but Xcloud is able to bring this one back. In the end, they're going to be okay with that. They lose a couple of rifles, but it's all cool in the hood for Eternal Fire. MOUZ, they saved for this very purpose, just so they can have all the guns to work with. All the utility. I'm not too sure if they have enough money for an offer Torzi. Do believe they should. I did see someone with $3,400 the previous round. So with the lost bonus money, they should be able to purchase an op. There we go. Torzi with the op, but no utility. Very sparse utility.
This feels like the curtain beginning to come down on this MOUZ CT side. If they lose this, they'll have very little else to play with. That repeat into the fire, into the flames from Torzi is a courageous one. But it doesn't yield anything because a flash blinds him and forces him away from the angle. They still have the first pick. This is the kind of angle with 44 HP, though. You have to be very careful with Vincent Torres. So quick. From Torzi's perspective, he saw him for a millisecond, but now frozen. The pressure's mounting. He knows they're coming. Pop flash off and over. Going to go in for that peak. Recall that he was a little bit labored today, and he's been Molotov down. Not that he really had a chance in that position. JDC, though, can hear the bomb being planted through the smoke. It's flashed in. There's one, finds his man, but another trade evenly back and forth. It's not the best result for MOUZ. They're still waiting for BMAS to show his hand. Two smokes and a Molotov.
Yep. They still can do this, Vince. They have the kid as well in the hands of Dexter. But the thing is, they know where the second player is. They have an inkling Xcloud at the back of the bomb side, but Woxic with the up, he's being aggressive.
BMAS now pushing through. That Molotov doesn't extend, and Xcloud closes the eyes of BMAS. 3 match points, and MOUZ have so very little to play with.
Humongous round from Xcloud. I love how he just goes to the wide swing out. He's like, all right, my days are numbered, but Woxic's there. As long as he can bait out something, get some information, Woxic could clutch it out, but instead he lands 2 blinders. 2v2 doesn't work out for MOUZ. 3 map and match points for Eternal Fire, and look at the money for MOUZ. They're going to be calling for a tactical timeout, but Vince, that is grim.
Oh, that's 4 MP9s and a scout.
Yeesh. Woxic's on 31 and 13, by the way. What an MVP performance coming out from him.
It's great to see, man, because, again, goes to the IGL role. His performance obviously dips as expected. And now that Emo's taken up that mantle, we're waiting to see if Woxic was going to have glimpses of that previous monster that we knew he always had. within him. So far, in this game at least, he's shown just that. But is this going to just be a straight-up run and gun? The final round, potentially, of this game, but perhaps not. The MP9's a declaration of intent. Just raw aggression, ruthless aggression, straight to the jugular of the T's. But they have to deal with the snake in the grass. They have to deal with Xantares, who's making moves behind them, but he may have missed his chance. They've gone all the way around, through middle, back up to B. I don't think they spotted the bomb, though. They certainly didn't, actually. It's back towards the T spawn, so they're not sure if they're actually still positioned in here. But that AWP shot does connect, and Xantares down to 17 HP now is in the realms of all of the weapons that MOUZ currently possess. And Calyx has also been spotted, and he's also been put down low.
Yeah, they're just gonna total up. It's gonna be the longest save of their lives. Still 55 seconds on the clock. I think Frozen is like, well, screw this. I have an MP9. I'm just going to keep pushing on in. And he can actually hunt them down. They have so much time here. Do MOUZ? Do they feel adventurous? Yes, they do. Torzi, he just has a USP event, so he's going to be going towards mid to pick up one of the Feld rifles. But no, they're going to be going in for the hunt. Now, if you look at the money, they can still go for a buy for the side of Eternal Fire. But if they're going to die, they want to die before the time expires. Frozen hasn't been seen. Xantares looking to clothesline him, and Frozen is just biding his time. He hasn't pushed in yet. They're waiting for the time to expire.
It's very smart here, and there's 3 players as well. They're all waiting. Even if they lose one, it's going to be fine. In they come, and in they go, downing the remaining 2 Ts, and this has played hell with their money. They can still probably scrape together a buy, but Calyx is at $350.
Ooh, they're going to go for it nonetheless. They're going to go for it nonetheless. What a round from MOUZ when it looked like it was over. When it looked like it was done, dusted. And just this call was just a kick in the nuts. They're like, yeah, we'll know where you are. Just gotta wait for the time to run out. Take away the money, and Calyx just has nothing.
Ooh,
not even armor. More down to 9 HP, and he's the one with the cavalry. You gotta remember, Calyx, there's no armor, nothing. He just has a P250, and this is a force buy. They have 2 AKs.
Early nades just ripping through them all. As you said, lack of buy makes this even more difficult to muster together from Eternal Fire's perspective. They're going to be lining up the smokes for a potential A execute, trying to lock off the library, lock off the arches. Smoke also tossed onto the back of the site. And Torzi's missed his chance, and Xantares will punish him. That's an AWP that can now be picked up. As Emo goes in aggressively, Xantares right behind him. Oh, it's a whiff spray from Dexter. How important that can end up being. Puts more pressure on BMAS. And this A site has come completely undone.
Oh, Xantares, he decides to take matters into his own hands. He just looks at Woxic into his eyes and he's like, you know what, you've done enough. It's my turn to shine right now. The 2 AKs I spoke of, one of which enhances Xantares, and he's doing everything by his lonesome. They're all tucked on in as well, Vince. This looked like it's done.
And especially now that Frozen has fallen, and down goes JDC.